right now, yeah, boom, simas.
Boom celebrates mass.
Soca full stream with the Boom Team.
It's Kiki, yeah. Smurf again, yeah. Aye. But if I give you a piece, I want you promise me please, you gonna keep it a secret, cause as you can see, I love my privacy, and that ain't nobody business. First thing first, we are both grown, so nobody should know what happens behind closed doors. And I don't ever kiss and tell, no, so make this promise to yourself. And I tell you, my girl, hold it down, you better don't tell nobody. Shut your mouth, keep it between just you and me. Hold it down, you better don't tell nobody. Shut your mouth, but you shut your mouth and watch. He can know, she can know, them can know, keep it low. He can know, no, she can know. No. He can know, she can know, them can know, keep it low. He can know, no, she can know. Yeah. I considering giving you the thing, girl, but I am still unsure. Oh yeah, cause I don't like drama. Period, no comma. I don't want my business on the road. Boy, we can link and get real late, but one requirement is just to keep it private. And I don't ever kiss and tell, so make this promise to yourself. Hold it down, you better not tell nobody. Shut your mouth, keep it between just you and me. Hold it down, you better don't tell nobody. Shut your mouth, but you shut your mouth and watch. He can know, she can know, them can know, keep it low. He can know, no, she can know. No. He can know, she can know, them can know, keep it low. He can know, no, she can know. Yeah. She love it, boy. She love it, boy. She love it, boy. She love it, boy. You know what soca do? It put you in the mood. You know what soca do? Flames from me.
Boom, simas. 1069.
But that's the kind of thing soca make you do. Hey. Well, it's then I put a tell you rhythm don't enter her soul. Her soul. Get she getting on, but she's sweating so bad. Music hitting is when she can't stop dance. It's a vibe, it's a vibe, it's a vibe, it's a vibe you can't control. Hey. This American she never heard soca before. whole day. Oh yeah. So honey, if you're ready, honey, if you come to play, 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 we go play, play, play whole day. Find your drinking company, and make up your mind we drinking the whole damn day. I say the whole damn day because it is knockout time. It's time to wine. Look how long we wait for the carnival just to take a wine again. I tell you it's knockout time. We need a wine. Look how long we can't get carnival jumping on the road. Everybody jump out now with the misty bacchanal. Wine and wave for carnival. Jump up in the juve and the wet vet can't get away. Jump and wave for bacchanal. Wine and wave for carnival. Carnival, we need the festival.
Boomsy Boss, 1069.
Mamacita, give me peace now. I'm begging you please now. I will never leave ya. Mamacita, give me peace now. I'm begging you please now. I will never leave ya. Mamacita, Mamacita.
Local Just Bus for you. My goodness gracious. Just Bus music.
What's left in the darkness come to the light, so I not holding back. Yes, I have a wife, but to how you whining, girl, I have to attack. Yeah, you catch me eyes in the party, so I had to ask you politely. Yeah, you catch me eyes in the party, we roll it. Mamacita, give me peace now. I'm begging you please now. I will never leave ya. Mamacita.
No kid, no kid, no kid, no kid, no kid, no kid, no. I can't help myself. I love this one. I love this one. Just Bus. Hey, don't forget this morning, the Cutlass will be inside at some time. I think he will love this one as well too. He will love this one, kid. He will love this. Yeah, he will love this. He kind of know when it comes to raga music and thing. He know them kind of music. Yeah, he love this one. He love this one. Yeah, you got to know. He could dance to this one. He could dance to this one. At 7:45 this morning, we've got Kongsa joining us. Yeah, this morning. Look out for that. At 8:30, Mr. Weeks, the most loved man on radio, will be joining us as well. And Dr. Richards should be joining us as well too. This morning at 9:30, 9:45. In the meantime, we got the best music, the best conversation back and all in this period, in this time. Let me go. Just Bus.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Killy.
Yeah. From the Just Bus camps. These guys originated from Sand Hill area. Sand Hill. Sand Hill. My goodness gracious. Talent. Vinci talent for you. Let me go. Good morning to those of you on the Facebook Live. Gonna get to you in a bit, alright? Gonna get to you. Here we go. Let's go. Let it go, kid.
Give me peace now. I'm begging you please now. I will never leave ya. Mamacita, give me peace now. I'm begging you please now. I will never leave ya. Mamacita, Mamacita, give me peace now. Mamacita. What's left in the darkness come to the light, so I not holding back. Yes, I have a wife, but to how you whining, girl, I have to attack. Yeah, you catch me eyes in the party, so I had to ask you politely. Yeah, you catch me eyes in the party, we roll it. Mamacita, give me peace now. I'm begging you please now. I will never leave ya. Mamacita, give me peace now. I'm begging you please now. I will never leave ya.
Come here, my baby. Come, let me show you niceness. Caribbean queen, you whine and you look the tightest. Come here, my baby. Come, let me show you niceness. Caribbean queen, you whine and you look the tightest. Sweet like a Julie mango. I just want to taste and jam you. I don't want to wine and drunk you. So come, let me slam the bamboo and hear what she have a man too. I don't really care, I have to wind up like a crazy wacko. She man watching wait, back up. Come here, my baby. Come, let me show you niceness. Caribbean queen, you whine and you look the tightest. Come here, my baby. Come, let me show you niceness. Caribbean queen, you whine and you look the tightest.
So baby, tell me what you want to see. Take you to parties and get naughty. So wind up on me, feeling happy. start get freaky, Lord. So give me that feeling and put in some meaning. I know there's a reason for every time we be zessing. So why you be stressing? I teach you a lesson. Floating we be drinking. Village drum and black bottle. No festival. Put a nice like carnival. Watch the game Mardi Gras. Monday, Tuesday really bad. So when I wine on freaky girls, I make a link up in a pretty man. Costumes causing bacchanal. It's thing you now. No festival. Could a nice like carnival. Watch thing in Mardi Gras. Monday, Tuesday really bad. So when I wine on freaky girls, I make a link up in a pretty man. Come in the blue sea. I was sailing with a woman. She come from Barony. She want to show me her country, the mountains and the valleys. We sail from Chateau to Fancy. We sail in the Caribbean. Me and this beautiful woman on the boat alone. She tell me the water looking sweet, and she want me to wet her body. So I put down the other one. She grab me, put up the boot. She pull up the boot, she pull me in closer. Yeah, she boy come in the blue sea, boy come in the blue sea. Take a splash inside of the blue sea, inside of the blue sea. So I jump down in the blue sea, dive down inside of the blue sea, spin around inside of the blue sea, inside of the pretty blue sea.
It's long time I need a sea bad baby. I want to wash up this chummy girl off for me. And I take a little dip down in your blue sea. Dip my head down in your water. Deep down in your water, baby. Deep down in your water. Deep down in your water, darling. Baptize me now. Dip me down there. 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 Baptize me now.
So much struggles that we've been through, we get through together. All the ups and downs, I've stayed with you. I will never leave. You gave me everything I need. How could I let you go? How could I let you go? You give me peace, you give me vibes, you give me ups and downs, and you provide my every need. How can I go wrong? I Runa, land of my birth. I Runa, you give me the sweetest vibe.
Hold on, kid, hold on. Hold on, kid, hold on. Let's talk about this one. Let's talk about this, kid. Who's this?
That's O.M.G Maya.
O.M.G Maya?
Yeah.
This is not part of the Just Bus.
Nah,
No?
I don't believe that.
O.M.G Maya.
She performed in our first concert series a few weeks back.
Angelique. Oh yes, Angie. Wait.
Yeah, she performed with Kelly J and Amon.
Yeah. How can I forget? Redskin Angelique.
Yes, the
Beautiful
shot girl.
Angelique.
Yeah,
oh my goodness gracious me. Oh yeah, how can I forget you, Angelique?
man.
Oh, beautiful Angelique. Angelique, good morning to you, darling. Good morning to those of you on the WhatsApp live. Let me jump over some names. I'm going to say good morning to some people and I'm going to skip out some names, okay? I'm not going to say good morning to out the place Tanya. I'm not going to say good morning to you with you.
All in
this morning. All in the damn morning. You wake up vexed in the face, push up. What the hell is wrong with you? You need Jesus. Tanya, you need a sap between the fresh and the salt. Anyway, when you there, you can't get the fresh and the salt. You wake up in the morning. Every morning you wake up, you look in the mirror and you. Anyway, I don't blame you for looking in the mirror and go. Hey, Richard Brown, good morning to you, buddy. How you doing? Yeah, Jeffrey, good morning to you. Diggy, good morning to you. Santry, good morning to you. Tanya, let me say good morning to you. Nashma, good morning to you. That's Prescott. Yeah. Bonnet, Ryan, good morning to you. Bonnet, Ryan. Well, I've stretched this coffee out for so long, but a good Samaritan sent me some other coffee. I'm still waiting to get it. I know the coffee is in St. Vincent already, but I'm not going to say Fitzhuggins who brought it down. And up to now I hear from him. He did about the place roaming. I see him putting up all kind of thing on social media. All about it with the place. Up to now I can't get my coffee yet. I don't know. Maybe he might shop by me today. So let's hope so. Yeah. Spencer, that's for you, buddy. Up to now. Since how long you send the coffee for me, I can't get it. But let's hope so, all right? Let's hope so. Let's hope you're going to shop by me today. Highly flavored, good morning to you. Tanya, leave me alone. Tanya, it's too early in the morning for me to be fighting with you, darling. The love is too strong. The love is real. Tanya said, just bust from where? Just bust from Zion Hill, Tanya. What is wrong with you? Tanya, go back in your mirror and go. There's a special kind of love going on between Tanya and myself. Did I say Highly Flavor? Good morning. Good morning to you, Highly Flavor. Darren, good morning to you. Natasha Thomas, morning. Galaxy by far. Morning, buddy.
Galaxy only one.
Yeah, man. You're Paulie. You don't miss nothing. Yeah, man. You know. Tony, good morning. Asba, good morning. Judy Davis out of Beckwith, good morning to you. Keep rising with us this morning. You're going to have a good one this morning, yeah? You're going to have a great one this morning. You're going to get all the good ones. You're going to get a bush. You get the real thing again this morning, all right? No bush, just the real thing this morning. You get in, yeah? So my coffee I send give all to your boo-boo duck. No, gosh, Tanya, your coffee got used up already, Tanya. Are you so selfish, darling? Tanya, what is wrong with you, baby? Your coffee was extra special, honey. Extra special. But go back in the mirror and go. Marvin Bob, good morning. Josh, good morning to you. Julie, good morning. Let's say good morning as you come online. Let us know where you're listening to us from, too. Yeah? Good morning, everyone, and bless is Marvin. Josh, is a new day. A new day, the beginning of a new week. Let's get new things going. Let's have new happiness going. And let's have some new bacchanal as well too, Josh. How about that this morning? Yeah? How about that too? Let me let you know, while it's a new day, if you are a food lover, Hotel Alexandrina Culture Bar and Grill in Prospect is a place to be. Your ultimate dining destination from 3 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Indulge in the great menu, offering an extensive selection of wine, liqueurs, cocktails, mocktails, shots, and mouth-watering dishes and more. Visit them today for the perfect blend of flavor and vibrant atmosphere. Call them at 456-9788. That's 456-9788. All right, that's the number to get them at 456-9788. Barry, good morning to you, Barry. Barry's out the park. They're located in Low Middle Street near Gonzalo Liquors. They have parts for Suzuki Swift, Sprinters, RAV4, Starlet, Nissan van parts, including headlights, indicators, tail lights, bumpers, steering box. You know, everything you need from Nissan vans. They have it at Barry's, all right? They also got the windshield and everything you need from Barry's, okay? Check out Barry. I don't think Barry need that is looking for that walker anymore. By now, trust me, by now, Barry would have found that walker. Yeah, so check out Barry's. Never mind, it's Monday. We got some more days to go before Friday, but Woodsy's Karaoke Friday, each and every Friday, the original karaoke king of Brooklyn, yeah, Hills Costello will be in the house at Woodsy's this Friday. Yeah, man, make sure you go and check it out. I remember, if you need somewhere mature, safe environment that's clean, where do you go? To Woodsy's. While you there, ask about the Rasta Pasta, wings, honey barbecue, buffalo, or spicy. Ask for the Vinci Sunset, Vinci Nice, Vinci Jumbie coming soon, all at Woodsy's. He told me there was something else on the menu. Let me pull him up. There, boy. He told me there was something else on the menu that's going with the. Yes, oh yeah. Brand new on the menu at Woodsy's, Woodsy Vinci Shrimp. Woodsy's Vinci Shrimp served with rice and peas, mixed vegetables, and fried plantain. Now, why was he gonna do that so early in the morning? Man hungry like this early in the morning. Kid.
You know what I mean? Coffee almost fade away now.
You know what I mean? You gotta put them kind of food in front of the man's face. Woodsy Vinci shrimp served as an appetizer is served tossed in honey, barbecue sauce, or buffalo sauce, and can be served plain without a sauce. Now, why was he gonna do that to me so early in the morning? To us so early in the morning, kid? Why?
Despite
He doing have a spite. He doing have a spite. Yeah. They also serve Woodsy's Vinci shrimp alongside their famous Rasta pasta. That's your thing. You been hearing that? That's one you been hearing about. Rasta pasta. Yeah. You gotta try that. You gonna try that. You gotta try that. Hey, the Cutlass should be with us anytime in a bit. So tell you what, when we come back, we're gonna kick it off right here on the O.M.G. in the morning. How was your weekend, kid? Hey, listen, Shady should have been back with us this morning. Kofi, good morning to you. Kofi send one long thing there, boy. Kofi, I don't know what that is all about. Good morning to you. Josh tell Kofi get a job. Just punch you hard anyway, you know. Gail Ferrari, good morning to you, darling. How are you this morning? Old school, yeah, good morning to you as well too. Another radio station is on here trying to advertise their radio station. Could you believe that? I don't blame you, buddy. I don't blame you. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. How was your weekend?
It was busy.
Busy?
Yeah.
What you did?
Yeah, I had a busy one, man.
Yeah.
Went to do some concrete work and thing over the weekend.
Oh, that's busy. It's not busy. What is busy about that?
Busy. You know what I mean? Jogging blocks and all, man. You know what I mean?
That's hard working weekend.
Yeah.
I make you see all they can't get no woman in all. They hand tough. You just go and get pedicures and manicures and these things. But that's why you
hand them too soft for them, man.
You hand them too soft for you jogging blocks and all kind of thing, mixing concrete. What kind of woman, when a woman touch your hand, she want to know, what is this? What I touch here, really? Is that blocks? A grater I touch here?
A grater.
I mean, you need to go and get a manicure. What the hell wrong with you? When you conditioner your hand and you jogging blocks and pulling blocks and all. What guy, get yourself together? Pull yourself together, man.
He's a roughneck, man.
Roughneck? Oh yeah, that's true. They were roughneck, man. They were roughneck. That's true. That's what they were. That's what they were. That's what gangsters and roughnecks, right? Boy,
I wanted to lazy man in the mix.
And wanted to lazy man. Throwing a lazy man in there. Oh my goodness, God. That's so sad. Sad. Yeah. And especially if you're working as a conductor in a van too. You're gone crazy,
string
boy.
and play like chain.
Oh, I dare you not. That's not how our Vinci girls are, okay? Alison Grant, good morning to you. Max, good morning. African man, I give away opportunity to get rich. Where is Max? Where? Tell us where. Max, tell us where. Give us more details. More details. Yeah, more details now. We demand more details. We demand. Hey, listen, in case you wondering what's happening with Shady, I fired his ass. I fired him for spite. Yes, I fired him.
Fighting me with the fish them.
Yeah.
every week is a different story.
Every week is bringing a different story. You know, I fired him. I fired Shady. Yeah, let that go. Get it wrong. I fired him. Yes, fired his tail. You know, every morning he coming. Yes, it's coming. Like Jesus is coming.
You're not now.
And if Shady's on some sick leave, he will be back. He should have been back this morning, but he is still down and out. But he will be back soon. All right, hopefully he will be stronger and better this week. But I know Shady's gonna milk it, and he might take another week. But he gotta produce another sick leave, buddy. And when you go to some doctors that is pay a little more thing and they go write up the sick leave. Nah.
And listen, I remember now it's carnival.
I know it's carnival.
Shady playing smart, Shady. Yeah, we're pointing it out tonight.
Oh Lord, Max says Shady lie. He not sick. He's slick, Maxie. He's not sick, he's slick. I tell you what, we're gonna take our first break within this hour and come right back. When we come back, we're gonna get it going off, get it started right here on O.M.G. in the morning. Let's do this.
This is Big People Time on the road with
Purchase your packages now at www.thebandtouch.com or in store at WeFM office in Kingstown, Beachfront Bar and Restaurant in Chateaubelair, Log Enterprises, or Music Center in Kingstown. Packages include t-shirt, drinks, drawstring bags, mug or cup, and more. Non-stop live band music and good vibes from SVG's greatest bands. Touch and Kinetic Monday T-shirt band. Brought to you by WeFM, White Oak, Standard Shippers, Caribbean, Tusty Water, Searchlight Newspaper, and Beachfront Bar and Restaurant. Follow the band Touch on Facebook and Instagram for more info.
The Patriot Company Limited.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Your vision is our mission at Kurtz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.kurtzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Kurtz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in store for details.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact live. Party from home. Subscribe, follow, send us your voice notes. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, or call us live in studio. Be where the world is going. Stay home and connect online. Boom 1069, IKTV. Join the evolution. It's all about you. Connect now.
That no government has the right to take away. It sets out our right to freedom and equality and justice.
How many times do I have to teach you? Just because something works doesn't mean that it cannot be improved.
Taiwan International Healthcare Training Center integrates the health capability in Taiwan and keeps providing continuing education trainings for healthcare professionals. In the past 20 years, TIHTC has successfully trained over 2,000 international healthcare professionals from 77 countries.
We will save more Ukrainian children's lives with the sincere support of the people of Taiwan. All of our colleagues, we want to thank Taiwan for this help.
Since the 1950s, Taiwan has been providing various medical aid and technical services to African countries. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Taiwan assisted its diplomatic allies in helping pregnant women maintain maternal and child health. Early neonatal mortality rates have seen a decline of 1%, with the number of deaths per 1,000 newborns dropping from 234 to 189.
Nationwide affordable and accessible healthcare is a reality in Taiwan with 99.9%.
Big and DJ Shady.
This is a bouncy mass. 106.9. Let me go. When you play the tune, they can't eat. Oh lad. Boom, you know how you run the streets. Oh lad. You have all the hottest DJs. No lie. Tell another station don't even try. If it's one thing that I don't know, Boomsy Master, you run the show. Tell our next station they can't play with you. Cause you're better than all of them. In the week or on the weekend, Boom Station, you set the trend. Cause them can't
1069.
Road match, buddy. Road match, buddy.
Touch can road
Not
match.
cucumber.
Touch can road match.
Why boom can't get road match? Tell me why that song can't get road match.
Here you come with. Here you come.
Here a nice song like that.
Here you come with. Here you come with. Here you come with.
Tell me why.
Here you come with. Here you come with.
Tell me why.
Good morning to you, buddy. How was your? You look horrible.
I had a horrible.
You look
I
disgusting.
I almost didn't make it into the day.
Yeah, you look terrible.
No, I had one of my Meniere's disease attacks yesterday. So
Yeah?
I was in bed all day. Almost couldn't move. So it was a rough day. Struggled in this morning. See, I'm walking with my drugs buddies. See, I'm almost down to 3 drugs now, 3 pills.
Explain to our listeners what is that Meniere's.
Meniere's disease is the thing I suffer from. It's an inner ear problem, which affects your balance, leads to severe vertigo and nausea and vomiting and ugliness. And I'm now half deaf in one ear, maybe closer to 3/4, because eventually you might go deaf in one ear, and some people in two ears. So it's a really horrible thing. There's no cure for it. There is different people try different drugs. I try an anti-nausea drug is what I try, and I also take a very strong pill that they give to cancer patients to stop your vomiting and stuff too. So it's a
and
horrible thing.
when you get it, real bad. It hits
it real bad. All you can do is lie down, and it makes you really tired and sleepy, and that's all you can't move literally. So
Can you tell when it's coming on? Can you tell when it's coming on?
Most of the time I can tell because it starts with a lot of noise in my ear. My ear gets really noisy and I can hear something, right? And I've now most of the time I know what the triggers are. You know, like if I'm under a lot of stress. Work stress, woman stress. You know, women like to stress you, right?
I'm not getting into that.
So
I'm not getting into that.
I mean, you've been there, right? So, but basically stress. I don't drink coffee anymore. I try to avoid salt as much as possible because those are things that are triggers, if you like. As I said, caffeine. I'm not sure what brought this on, except on Saturday night. I had a gigantic slice of delicious chocolate cake. So I want to thank my staff for giving me my delicious chocolate cake. Because tomorrow I'm 51, Bing.
Who cares?
51 tomorrow, Bing.
I don't give 2 hoots about that. You think...
Millennium kid over there. I started last year, right?
We don't care about your
I celebrated my 60th birthday.
Do you care how old he is?
So I have decided.
Do you really care? You don't care.
Push the man thing. I have decided that I've had enough of getting old. So I'm going back to 51 this year. Yeah, I'm going back. I'm 51 now. From now on, I'm 51. Okay, Bing? I'm not 61. 51. So get it right. You see, unlike Bing is afraid to tell everybody his age. Now, I happen to know that Bing is 53.
Oh, Jesus.
But he doesn't want anybody to know.
Here we go.
It stays in the studio.
It's
a secret.
About your age.
It's a secret, okay? So let's keep it in here.
Right. You're going to be 51 next year.
I'm going to be 51 tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
Tomorrow I'm 51 years old.
And we really don't care around here.
So,
do you
the
care?
reason I'm telling
do you only watch on the Facebook Live?
The gifts,
You care? Yeah.
The gifts I want, right, are primarily financial. Okay, so I mean, I also like cake. Anything that's fattening and really bad for me, I'm in it.
So you're just putting it out there.
Yeah, putting it out there. So if anybody wants to know, but I mean, don't feel bad. Just send cash.
He eats anything that's fattening that's bad for him, except women. don't give him the
I am not generally attracted to fat ladies. Right. Okay? I have nothing against fat ladies. Yeah. Everybody's attracted to
that one is
different.
Good, Kyle. That one is good.
Everybody's a little bit different, right? We agree.
What
do you find attractive? What kind of ladies do you find attractive?
Not that one, Kyle.
What kind of ladies do you find attractive? Slim, thick, or once they're female, you don't really care?
Yeah, I don't specify.
Once it's female, you don't really care. You like Bing then? Anything.
Anything goes.
But Bing says he prefers them off with a lighter complexion. Bing likes red girls. Yeah.
I have.
He has a weakness for red girls. That's what he said. Although I see no real evidence of it, because I think Bing. I think Bing is a savage, right? And Bing will any lady that offers. As a matter of fact, I think any human that offers.
Animal. We're not speaking about Jimpy.
We're not talking about Jimpy today. Okay. All right. Leave Jimpy alone today.
Put it back in him. How was our friend? It's been a while since I've seen Grant.
Why are you hiding from him? No, he's very upset this morning.
Why?
He's very upset this morning because apparently some kids are having a weed festival. A festival that says bring your own weed and smoke, right? And he's upset now because he's saying he's been talking about this for years in St. Vincent,
been
and our Prime
on my
Minister needs
case
to
with
do
this.
better, and so on. Our friend.
Yeah.
So since he mentioned that, I happened to go online and say, boy, I wonder which is more
beneficial to the economy.
Well, not just beneficial to the economy, which is also more destructive in terms of addictiveness. Cigarettes, rum, weed, and so on. But so we could chat about that later. And of course, our friend also wants us at some point to talk about what you're trying to avoid desperately. The LGBTQMZOIQRISVG rights thing, right? And he said we need really to involve Jomo in this conversation. Because he wants to know where Jomo stands.
From a legal standpoint or from his personal
No, personal. Who cares about legal? Legal is boring, buddy. I mean, Jomo came on last week. It was Jomo, don't do that to me again, please.
With his legal stuff?
Yeah, that last week Thursday was seriously rough, man. Jomo, please, come now, man.
But we've got laws in our book, so we must go by what the law book
let's
says.
not talk about that. The laws will eventually get changed as we go along.
You think so?
Yeah, society's changed, buddy. It is what it is. But I had a great weekend. My brother-in-law, Delhi, is heading off to New York. He's emigrating to New York, I think, next end of the week. So we had a little
on vacation.
He works for us and so on too. So we had a little get together. Michelle and
Grant,
Ricky.
you see what I tell you? You don't invite us to his things.
It wasn't my thing.
But it was by your place.
It wasn't my place. But it was actually by Michelle and Ricky's place, and Ricky didn't invite you. They have a magnificent spot, buddy. Anybody out there need a place for weddings? No, but when you go inside, it's much nicer than on the outside. It's where the big mill is outside right there, Argyle Airport there, guys. If you're driving around by Raraku. You want, next time you get married, I highly recommend it.
Ricky's like that, though. Ricky's like, he avoid black people.
Why go on?
Because I know white-skinned people was there, like you.
But there are lots of black skinned people too.
But they were probably outside by the Grant, where you say,
but no white people, that's why I couldn't invite Grant.
By the cup. Only you and I don't know what you're talking about. By the cup.
No, listen, I actually want an apology this morning. Because, you and Grant hit me hard this weekend in this group thing. I got plenty of abuse this weekend. But I noticed, you're calling me all kind of names. I'm a racist. I'm this. And boy, if you hear blows I got this weekend. I wish I
took it like a man.
But I took it like a man. But I hit back with one little one.
Boy.
And the silence was deafening after that. I said, but hold on here. Anyway, I won't repeat that on the radio.
We don't speak about that.
And that shut you all up instantly. But I'm not going on the road.
We don't speak
so
about
the weekend was it was a hell of a weekend. We had a little stormers, shut down the whole country, which you
thought you and
Grant
thought that and nothing. Waste of time. We're going to shut down the government for country for economy and this and this.
Every single time we shut down the country. Storm coming, we shut.
Don't you prefer to be prepared?
Listen, I think that there are enough sensible, intelligent people out there who could look at weather forecasts and see what's going on and have enough experience to say, boy, is this really, why are you shutting down the country at 6 o'clock at night for? Right? You tell people at 4 o'clock you're shutting down the country.
You got to prepare.
And then I could understand you saying you're closing schools. I could understand
how do people prepare for it? We don't know how long this stuff. You got to go to the supermarket, you got to prepare. You got to stock up on supplies.
The thing said it was moving at 15 miles an hour. Right? The speed of the storm. We know roughly how far out the way the storm.
We don't know if something could have happened and it could have not continued to go. It could have stuck around.
So next time let's shut down for 3 days instead.
That's not 3 days. Your
I
thing
am
is
not
why
in
your
favor
thing is
of shutting down every time something coming. Now I understand if
your
it's a
thing was
hurricane
that
or something significant.
Your thing was that why shut down the country at 6 o'clock? And I am saying that people have to prepare for that 6 o'clock shutdown.
But if they were prepared, when did they tell you? At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, correct?
Yes.
So that there's enough time to prepare. In that case, why not say shut down at 9 o'clock so the supermarkets could stay open and people get what they want? Because there was no storm coming at 6 o'clock that evening. It wasn't coming.
No, it wasn't coming, but people had to prepare for the eventualities of the storm coming. Which
by doing what?
By going to the supermarket, by stocking up on water, by stocking up on food supplies and all of that.
Stock up on supplies.
I don't.
A thing with tropical storm winds going at 15 miles an hour, which
will
be passed through it in a few hours.
The thing with you, Vincentians, right? Well, how they like to beat up on Nemo, right?
I'm not beating up on Nemo.
When Nemo don't say anything.
Yes.
Anything come. Oh, they ain't telling me nothing. Imagine this. When Nemo come out and say the storm is coming, and do they say, oh, well, Why do you have to do that?
All the
for?
time
What do you
thing.
do that for?
When was the last time Nemo got it right? Let's be honest.
Last Friday.
They got it right.
Yes, they got it right.
We had
Last Friday.
amazing rains, thunder, and storms all over the
They got it
country.
right. They got
we
it right.
know where it's
They got
going to
it
get hit. It's always in the same place. The
got it
same
right.
place where they insist on building housing where housing don't belong. Up in Sandy Bay.
good.
Always in the same place. And always are going to rebuild. And always are going to put more people up there. You know why we do that? Cheap politics. Because of people like you. Right? That is why we do these
I'm not
things.
running
We
up
put
there.
in people. You're not?
I'm not
I
running up
heard
there.
you were being recruited.
I'm not
for
running
the
up
ULP.
there. I'm not.
Yeah,
Question.
Anyway, you need to
while
check
we
out.
up there, while we up there, let's stay up there a little bit. Do you think that it is correct? I don't want to. Well, politically and on a matter of principle, that a candidate, someone has been named,
Yes.
to replace the Honorable Montgomery.
Daniel.
No.
Montgomery.
Honorable Montgomery, what do us do? Or us, Montgomery, us, Daniel do? And that candidate is still employed as a government employee.
Yes.
You think that is
I
fine?
don't have a problem with
You
it.
don't have a problem.
I have no problem with it. None whatsoever.
And likewise.
I think I agree that
Okay.
they should resign when elections are called.
Okay.
But I also feel that should they lose, they should have their jobs back also.
Okay. And likewise, do you feel that it should happen for the opposition?
Absolutely correct.
Okay, good.
You have things both ways.
So-
but it's
so-
interesting
so-
that you have, I saw an interesting video on the weekend where an alleged candidate for, not alleged, a person who has clearly stated that they intend to seek the
yes.
what
My
did they
friend,
say?
my phone.
Right, your
Olive,
phone, my phone.
My friend.
is standing
my-
in Calico.
Yes.
With a man with a flag, with a
Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta
with
do
an
that?
umbrella
Why-
over his head.
Why you gotta do that?
I think
The
he
man
was
don't know
supposed to
better.
be.
The
I
man
think he
don't
was
know better.
supposed to be
Come on,
pretending
the
it was
man-
storming and raining and holding the umbrella over her head, but it didn't
Come
quite
on.
work out.
How do you know that?
But what
you
I
think
find-
that was
what
set
I
up?
find
You
wonderful
think,
about
you
these
think
new-
that was set up? You think that was a setup?
Yes.
Why would anybody set that up?
Cheap politics, buddy. Cheap politics.
So they
How-
give,
how
so
do you-
give the
how-
man the
listen.
umbrella and say, hold the umbrella over your head.
No, give the man the umbrella. Say you're supposed to hold it over my head to pretend it's really a big storm going on here, and you're trying to protect me because I really
Oh,
care about the
come
people.
on.
I care about the 9-year-old child and 10-year-old child in Annis Vale. When my family was
Lance, buddy,
destroying
here we
his
go.
life,
Lance, and it has started,
I
Lance.
care about that. I care about
Grant,
pig
could you
farms.
please call him, please?
And goat farms
Help
and
me
people
here.
residential neighborhood, and you want to represent those same people in our parliament. I can't wait for election season to start. We're gonna have so much fun talking about that candidate. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you bring her in, Big, so we could chat.
Of course we
It's
bring
your
her
friend,
in.
and I think you should.
Of course we bring
Because then
her
we,
in.
because I saw a video talking about it takes a village to raise a child. And I thought, wow. What about the village of Annis Vale and raising a child there?
I
Look
heard
at
you
my
made
phone.
an interesting comment in the group chat, right? You said that Mrs. Oliver said it takes a village, and you
I saw that in the video.
And you
Tell
said
us to
also,
burst out laughing.
and you also said, what about a restaurant? If it doesn't take a restaurant,
It takes a restaurant to raise a child. Yeah. Not just a restaurant, but preferably a nightclub where there's booming music and the child can't sleep. Right? A 9 or 10-year-old child next door to you can't sleep. Where there's old people in your neighborhood who can't sleep at night. But now you want to run for politics. I love it. I love it. And we want to, and they want people like me to vote for them. Wow. Amazing. Incredible. Cheers. Big, I saw a video that I put in the chat group, huh?
Yeah.
Because I like to hammer on these things all the time.
Yes.
I hope you had a chance to
So
watch it.
hold on before we move.
Sure.
So you will not be voting for Mrs. Oliver?
Absolutely not. Not in a million years. No, Bing, I can't do that. Come on, man. You have to have a conscience. You have to understand right from wrong. Don't you?
Go ahead, come, please.
Anyway, the point is, I put this video in the group, which you wouldn't be interested in.
Come get your friend, please, man.
And I wish I could play the damn video so people could see it, but you wouldn't allow me, right? A law professor walks into, not a law professor, a professor walks into a classroom. I assume it's a law professor or a sociology professor or whatever. Walks into a class. And, everybody's sitting in front, everybody's sitting and waiting for him to come in. So he walks in. And he picks on, he said, you in the blue shirt in the second row. An attractive looking young lady. He said, get out of this class. And she said, what? Said, get out of my class and don't come back. And she said, well, what did I? She said, get out, leave now. So the girl quietly gets out. Now, this is a class full of people. Classroom full of people.
Well, let us know when counsel is available.
Classroom full of people. And she gets up and walks away. And when she's gone out, the professor said, this is exactly the problem we have in our society. None of you stood up here to defend that woman and say, what are you doing? Why are you kicking her out of this class? This is exactly what happens in our society. Until it happens to you, nobody cares. This is our society. When teachers don't get back their jobs after signing a government agreement, an agreement with the government and the teachers' union.
It was aspirational.
It was aspirational. We don't understand right from wrong. When we see what happens, we must call, when we see bigger bigs, we must call right from wrong, right? No, I'm picking on the government. I am, because they're in power. But I have no doubt the other people will do the same stupidness when they get in too. I have no doubt about that, right? So when do we stand up and say, no, you can't do this. This is not right. Because, and I understand people are afraid, but in the mere fact that you're afraid tells me, what kind of country are we in here? You know the word fear has 3 different spellings and 3 different meanings, right? Yeah. F-E-A-R, F-A-R-E, and F-A-I-R. So I don't know which one it is that we have here, but we certainly have a lot of it in this country. But we need to tell our politicians when we think they're going wrong, right? Now I understand people say, oh, but I have a mortgage. Well, that should tell you how bad the country really is if that's what you have to be afraid of, right? When my friend I posed in here.
Isn't that a reality though?
Of course
it may not be your reality.
It's not my reality now because I haven't been fired for speaking out.
Right.
But there are people, you know, you cannot deny that there is fear about losing your job because when do we stand up for right versus wrong thing? This is why I go back to my phone. You remember for, I don't know, months maybe years, I was on Boom, IK, any chance you give me talking about what is going on in Annisville. There's at that time 9-year and 10-year-old child at that time who couldn't sleep at night, who had to go look in a cupboard because of the noise going on there, right? And you know what the answer was to that? Oh, I'm employing 20 people. You want me to put them home on the bread line? There's the answer. Yes, actually I do, because that child was there before you. The old people in the neighborhood who couldn't sleep at night, they were there before you. How would you like it? As I tell everyone, it's really easy here. Can I move into your neighborhood? Can I put a pig farm or a goat farm, a stinking goat farm, in the middle of your residential neighborhood? Is that okay with you?
Let me ask you.
Yes.
If Miss
Oliver, yes.
Right, were to become the NDP's candidate.
Yes. I will campaign against the NDP.
You will campaign?
I would actively campaign against the NDP. Actively. Okay. That's how strongly I feel about this bill. At some point you have to understand. At some point. Anyway, let's go to LGBTQ now.
You hold on, let's go until it comes then.
No, I'm just saying I can't deal with that. That's all. I personally, I have a conscience of some sort, and there's certain things that I feel very strongly about. You know, and I took a lot of abuse for saying what I said then, right? But this is the kind of place we live in. People don't care, right? You know, so anyway, in addition to that too, because you don't pay attention to the news, we also had a little uprising in Russia with Yevgeny Prozhashkin or however you pronounce his name.
I thought that was just a fake thing. When I thought that wasn't,
boy, Joel Providence kept sending me videos and notes on it and whatever, and I said, boy, that's really interesting. Huh? My first reaction to Joel was, nah, I wonder if that's really true, boy. Yeah. So I started zipping around and watching. I couldn't believe it. A man is actually standing up to Putin, not because he likes Putin, right? But obviously about his own ego again, as always, as we try to do all the time, right? So, but I thought, you know how close, and from what everybody says, he might be even worse than Putin. But from, you know how close we are to really destroying the earth, and people just don't care, Bing? I mean, the earth as far as human beings' ability to live on it, right? Where you gone to? You're disappearing? All right, cool. No, but and then I saw another video I wanted to talk to you about that Bones sent me. Spencer sent this video to me. The video, which I meant to talk about a long time ago, until council comes in, talks about human beings, and it talks about us and the demons that we possess within us. And by demons, I don't mean you're going to hell, Satan kind of demons. I mean the bad things that we do. What is our nature? And this is I've always disagreed with Joe on this when I talk about human nature and what human nature does to us, right? And he said there's three demons that humanity has. One is a quest for power, right? Okay? He said that is it. The one is the quest for power. And he made a quotation that said, the strong do what they can and the weak suffer what they must. And I thought that was an interesting quote. The quest for power. That's the first demon we face. All of us know that is true. We want to be in charge. We want the power. We want people to do what we tell them to do. So that's the first demon that's inside all of us. And the argument behind this video is if we don't recognize these demons, then we can't deal with them. If you recognize the demons, then you can address them and you can say, okay, we need to try and overcome them, right? So that was one demon being, the quest for power. So the weak do what they can, although I disagree with that. Sorry, the strong do what they can, and the weak suffer what they must. I don't think the strong do what they can. I think the strong do what they want, and the weak suffer what they must. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. The second demon, he said, is our love of money.
That's a demon.
Love, that's a real demon. Because we will do almost anything to get more of it. And it's almost an insatiable thing.
The word you use is more of it.
More of it.
Not money to survive.
No.
More
of money. We want more. We are greedy, in other words. Okay. We want more and more and more, right?
Right.
We want to continue getting rich and rich. How much more money does an Elon Musk need? How much more money does a Stephen Joachim need, for that matter? How much more money? How much do we really need? What is it? When is it ever enough? And his answer to that question: no, it's never enough. It is never enough because we always want more. And really, money is also about power. Because money controls the politicians.
I think there's a difference there.
Explain.
Between power and money, because there are persons who will give up money to have power.
Okay. That's true. That's why he said number one was power. You have a valid point. But I ultimately think that in the vast majority of situations, power leads to money. And money controls power. Because if you have power, the money flows in your direction to persuade you to act in somebody's interest who's giving you the money. Why? Look at our elections. Every elections, both parties suddenly seem awash in cash. Right? Big cash, big parties, feds all over the place. Now you're spending millions of dollars to campaign to get a position where you're getting a salary of a few $1,000s. $5,000-$6,000, I don't know what the pay MPs these days. But yet you're spending millions of dollars to get in this position. And we are so stupid as a people, right? And we just sit there and take it and we never ask the question, where's this money coming from? What do they want in return for this, right? We don't ask those questions.
You mean, who is financing this?
Who's financing? What do they want, right? We don't ask that. So the second demon is money, and particularly he referred to the military-industrial complex. Okay. Which is a valid point also.
Jomo is here by the way.
Oh, great. Okay. Right. So then, the third demon, of course, is greed, as I said, and all of those three demons are interrelated as to what human beings are about. So, you know, my friend Grant wants to know about Jomo's position on LGBTQ.
Yeah. Well, we'll ask him.
So you can ask him.
Shady,
Shady's not in today. This is Kid today.
Let's bring Kongsa's drop and let's bring him in. Let's have an interesting one this morning. All right, what did you say you want from Kongsa this morning? His position on
LGBTQXYZ rights.
Yeah,
and
he dropped out. He's no longer.
And what about transgender?
He's no longer there. He dropped out. Huh?
When it came off.
And transgender.
As you see,
what do you feel about transgender rights?
As soon as you mentioned that, he dropped out.
Why do you do that? When was the last time you dressed up as a girl?
As soon as you mentioned that, Kongsa dropped out.
Within the last year,
could you call him back and ask him what happened?
Because I know it was a couple of years ago, you know, and you told me you quite liked it.
Why you did that?
I mean, I would pay money to see you in those high heels again. You know, again, huh?
People believe you're nonsense.
Well, I mean, we have to be. You see, this is the point I want to get to. How do we feel about these things, babe?
Because he dropped out again.
There was an interesting one on CNN where they were interviewing a pastor, a black American pastor, whose boy child apparently as a teenager decided that she was now a he.
Yes.
And dressed up, and the pastor, you know, how the family dealt with that and how they'd come to deal with it.
He's back in now.
So I thought that was the whole sexuality thing, the whole
let's
trans
go.
rights and trans wrongs, and
We will discuss that. We'll have an interesting discussion with that this morning. Let's go. Let's bring the drop.
Plain talk. Plain talk with Jumo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All you talk now on O.M.G.
Good morning to you, Council.
Morning. There's a feedback here. Even I don't know what you want to talk about.
Good morning, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Would you pay money to see Bing put on those high heel shoes again?
Oh, Bing is wearing high heels now?
He said, okay. It's General. Council, you got a different glasses on this morning. Wow.
Is it red?
Yeah.
Are they red?
They're definitely
I
not
can't
red.
see
They're
them.
not
They're
red.
I rented them.
You rented them. Rent the glasses. Ask me question before he get going, because we don't know if he's gonna be very.
Yeah. Now we interrupt him first.
Yeah,
Jomo, what is your position on LGBTQ XYZ MOQ rights and transgender rights?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Well,
5,
Steve,
6.
the first point I have to make is that you are trivializing a very important issue. This LGBTXYZ, that's a parody of something that is really important and occurring in the world. I have said time and again that I have not met a man that I want to make love with. Or
Not
make
yet.
love. I think I'm past the age.
Okay.
It's past the
Past the age.
But
maybe he would have done it when he was young.
You and Bing.
Hold on. There's a feedback. Are you getting a
Yes,
feedback?
there is.
Okay, hold on. Check that feed. Let's get rid of that feedback, please.
If you and Bing want to cuddle, that's your business.
Spoon. We like spooning.
Yes, spooning.
Yes.
That's your business. And if Tina and Jamie want to do the same thing, that's their business.
Right.
But I believe though that there's a lot of concern because people claim that this is a heterosexual world, and that in a heterosexual world there seems to be emerging homosexuality that is unbecoming, is unchristian, it's on everything else. And I differ. If people want to make love in private place, adults, then I don't see why that should be our business. Like I remember, I don't hear it much now, but I used to hear people say, "Oh, why would you allow a homosexual couple to rear a child?" And my response has always been, try getting a young child to eat broccoli or carrots, and see if they don't cry all day and still refuse to eat it. Similarly, I don't think that people are influenced in the easily influenced ways in which people say they're influenced. Although I think that the society is becoming more permissive now. And whereas we used to have a lot of things on top, we no longer have the cover. So for example, when I was going to school, there was a young guy from Morris Village who frequently went to prison. And we used to see him under prison occasionally, and he would not shout to us. But in recent, if you see a prison truck going up the street, and you may hear a prisoner shout to somebody he knows, which reflects a certain difference, a different change in time. Maybe the kind of shame that people had to be imprisoned no longer have it. Similarly, there's a lot of shaming that goes on with people who are homosexual, bisexual, and that creates a problem, I think, because so often people who are of a particular orientation are forced to live a life. Somebody who is, let's say, homosexual, and they're living in a very homophobic society, may feel compelled to get into a heterosexual relationship, and that may create all kind of problems for the person, his spouse, his children, his family, if certain exposures are made. And for example, you heard over the last few years, people were being outed for, because either out of spite or to show a certain level of duplicity, to show a certain level of hypocrisy, and so on and so forth. We just finished doing a case. The last day of the case was last week, Monday. It was a 4-day trial in which 2 homosexual men, Vincentian men, are challenging the buggery laws, section 146 and 148 of the Criminal Procedure Code of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which criminalizes same-sex behavior between 2 men or between 2 women. And they have argued that is a fundamental assault on their right to privacy, their right to individuality, their right to liberty. And I had no qualms at all taking up the case and starting a challenge all the way back in 2019. The case just came to an end, like I said, last week. But I believe that these people, like everyone else, have fundamental human rights, and that they should.
Yeah, but Jomo, I'm not talking about fundamental human rights, right? And from a legal, I'm not talking that. I'm talking about how we feel as human beings, as Vincentians, right? You're correct when I said I trivialize it, because I made a joke about it. It's not a big deal one way or the other. However, when I see, and you know me already, I have no problem whether you're gay or bisexual or whatever. I don't care. That's your business, what you are, right? But I do, however, feel that we cross the line, and there's a line somewhere, I don't know where that line is, when you see one of these cartoon shows that are directed at children, right? And you see clearly directed children, where you see a little cartoon character decided that he's no longer a boy, but he's a girl, right? I think we need to. I think there's a line that I certainly am uncomfortable with. I'm not saying what's right and wrong here. I'm saying what my level of comfort changes between seeing.
No, I understand that. I understand that, and I think that all of us can have a discomfort. I don't think that anything should be in the same way in which we draw lines about bestiality. You know, you having sex with a horse,
or donkey,
or a cattle or sheep. It's the same way in which I think we need to draw lines, and I do believe that we should draw lines as it relates to children, because children, even the point I made about carrots and broccoli, children, because their minds are not sufficiently formed, they are clearly, well, now there are questions, but they are clearly more impressionable than an adult. Although some adults may cause us to question that, but we believe that children.
Do you guys feel that this is one of the topics that the politicians deliberately or will deliberately stay away from?
Absolutely, they'd be wise to stay away from it, because John, whatever happened to that case that you had brought in regard, I think, to gay marriage rights or something?
But that's what I was just talking about.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you clearly.
Yeah, I was telling you that it finished last week Monday.
Oh, so okay. At what level?
All we are doing now, legal submissions are still outstanding. I think we have 21 days from Monday to file them. And then
And what level of it? What is that? A court of appeal, a high court? What
no,
is
no,
it?
no. It's still at first instance. Justice Henry is the judge.
Oh, I see. Oh, Justice Henry's the judge.
Lord.
Oh boy.
So when
You know what? My bet. I used to say, Jomo, that you will lose at the first and then you'll win on appeal.
no.
In this case, I'm putting
No,
money
no,
on
no.
the
We are not gonna lose. We are not gonna lose at first instance.
No, I think you'll win this one.
The fact of the matter, Stephen, is that there have been a series of cases across the Caribbean, in Belize, Trinidad, Guyana, Antigua, St. Kitts, Montserrat, and all of them have gone. And Barbados about a month ago, and all of them have gone in the way in which we expected our case.
Absolutely. So I have no doubt you will win.
I don't see us losing the case.
And then we'll have the protests on the road again. You know,
I don't think so. The protest would be meaningless, quite frankly.
But the church literally shut down Kingston.
No, they did not literally shut down Kingston. They had a noisy demonstration, but they didn't shut down Kingston.
A noisy demonstration?
I use my words advisedly. They had a noisy demonstration.
I like that. Yes. Okay.
So I mean, look, you know why that demonstration was rather absurd? There are so many horrible things that take place in Vincentian society.
Absolutely.
And the church is as quiet as a church mouse.
Yep.
But on something that they think is would trend.
Yep.
On something that they think that they might get some legs,
money.
They ran with it. And I went up to Heritage Square, and I gotta tell you, I was rather nauseated listening to some of the things that I heard said at Heritage Square at that rally.
Yeah. Good Christian folk. Love them, man. They're wonderful.
But why?
I mean, if you listen to what was said there, you could the fitting conclusion to that rally would have been Zionized classic song of last year.
Hypocrites. Very true. You were asking something big.
Why the church so selective? And so
because they go after the easy
broken
targets.
up,
they go after the weak.
Broken up,
they
apart,
go after the weak, buddy.
But with an issue like that, they all came together.
It's all about the money, buddy.
Strength.
What did I tell you?
Numbers.
It's about the money. It's all about the money. They need to rally their base. You see, Donald Trump rallies his base. Joe Biden rallies his base.
But you can rally your base with things.
Nothing common. It's an abomination, according to the good book. It's an abomination.
You can rally your base on things that are wrong that is taking place in
the
country.
You can't rally them like that.
But Stephen,
yes,
you see, the selective application of these sins, you know.
Yes, correct.
I mean, if you closely read the Bible.
Yep.
I mean, for me shaving my head and for you cutting your hair and for Bing doing what he does, all of us would reach hellfire on earth.
That's correct.
Because there are prohibitions against cutting your hair beyond your hairline and things like that. So I mean, I don't want to get into the kind of
the Christian part. Yeah, but I was talking more about society
because
position.
I gotta tell you, I truly respect Christian people and Christian beliefs. What I have a difficulty with is that a lot of people who pronounce on religious matters, the only holy book they think exists is the Holy Bible.
Yep.
And that shows a paucity of understanding of religion and spirituality.
An amazing degree of ignorance and stupidity.
So, but I mean, if that's where Malcolm X used to say, don't look down on people for what they're saying now, because there was a time when your level of ignorance might have been at the same place. So I don't want to be too overly critical of people, particularly the followers. I'm not here talking about the leaders. I think the leaders have a greater responsibility.
Because the leaders know better. They're doing it deliberately. Jomo, quick question. Where do you think St. Vincent's society is now when it comes... let's not go down the transgender route. Let's talk about homosexuality. Where is St. Vincent's society at now, you think? You think two men could walk around Kingston holding hands now?
I doubt it. I doubt it. They probably would still get pushed back from a rather vociferous minority. I think
it's a minority.
Most people may say let them be. For example, over the last few years, there were 2 or 3 young men
Yes.
who were cross-dressing and so on.
Yep.
And whereas they might have met some pushback in their earlier attempts, now
nobody cares.
They don't meet any pushback at all.
Yeah,
People
that's
just see them as at worst an aberration.
Yeah.
But certainly not the aggressive kind of pushback we had when 2 men were literally chased into and had to find refuge in Sanders and Huggins some years ago when they tried to walk up the street holding hands. But I think one of the things that we need to know, though, is that there's a tremendous amount of sexual experimentation that's taking place now, particularly among women. That it might have, I don't think it was as pronounced as it, let's say, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years ago, although there had always been experimentation.
Yep.
I think to the economic conditions in the society is forcing more and more people, men and women, into what I call social prostitution.
Yeah.
In the sense that now it's carnival time, there are a number of shows, and there's a quid pro quo. Bing buys a ticket to an exclusive party, and the understanding is that the woman is gonna sleep with him before he drops her off.
That goes beyond. I think that's a issue of I don't want to use the word poverty, but people trying to live above their means and don't have to do it or don't have the money.
Side. Yeah, but you know what disturbs me a little bit, right? Is that we were all teenagers once. Most teenagers are still feeling out their sexuality, right? And they maybe feel there's some attraction towards, if a male may feel some attraction to a male, a female. There's a lot more experimentation going on at that age, right? Where you make somebody of the same sex and all that kind of stuff, right? Because that's the reality of the teenage years. Now, the problem I have is when you begin when a teenager comes to you at 16 or 17 and says, "Oh, I feel like I am trapped in this body. I'm a woman trapped in a man's body," or vice versa, right? I think you have to be really careful there, because at that age, I think that's way too young.
I think you have to be careful to the extent that you tell the person, don't rapidly make the kind of change. I mean, I have my brother. Well, let me put it this way. I have a family member who very early, my brother's married to a lady whose son very early decided that he was a female trapped in a male body. I don't think he was 20 yet. And that young man who lives in the United States did the whole works, did all of the changes and so on.
Wow.
And is now, I would say, in his 40s and seemed to be living quite comfortably.
Wow. Okay.
But he did that very, very early. Did the changes, so he has voluptuous breasts and so on and so forth.
Yeah. And I just think that, because you are young, when you're making decisions when you are young.
I think maybe we need to ask just to hold in the same way in which we ask them, say, look, don't drink before you're 21. Don't go to war before you're 21.
Right.
Maybe we can ask if the law, there could be a law that says if you're going to make the change, you would not be allowed to make the change until you're 21.
Yeah.
I think those kind of demarcations may be useful.
Question, guys. How do you justify, as one you mentioned, given an example, of these events, these all-inclusive carnival events, where their tickets are $300, $400, and these young people, male or female, wanting to go, and sometimes you see the same set of people going to all of these events, and they can't afford it. Right. Some of them
post them.
Some of them not even working, and those who are working, who's
the Calypsonian who says some of us buying cat?
You see there we go. There's a family station.
Leave Mashi alone, okay? Leave Mashi alone. I prefer the other one. Sugar Daddy. Post him.
No, Sugar Daddy.
Post to Sugar Daddy. Show
Sugar Daddy. Or Sugar
Daddy. See who the Sugar Daddy is.
What's
wrong with being a Sugar Daddy?
Because you see, you're a Sugar Daddy for many people. How do you justify that?
I don't think there's anything to justify. I think that you see, The problem that we have in societies like this is that the society projects what is supposed to be the living, the good life.
Yep.
But the society has not yet been able, and probably will never be able, to put the wherewithal for all of us to live the good life.
Yep.
So some of us become thieves, some of us become scoundrels, some of us become prostitutes.
Yep.
And
but
and this is why I called it social prostitution, because it's not the prostitution that we know of old, where women used to go up on the steamers and so on to pick fares, or as we see in some other countries where they stand on the street corner and somebody pick them up.
Yep.
It's an event kind of prostitution.
A more subtle one.
I buy the dress and the shoe and the drinks, and the clear understanding is that.
What about the males then? Taking using the young boys. How
Well,
about
there's that too.
It's happening in St. Vincent as well too.
Oh yes, that happens, and that's the problem. And if the guys are really really young, then these adult males should go to jail. And if they're going after very underage girls, they too should go to jail.
Yep. But if it's a 19-year-old or 21-year-old or 23-year-old young lady, and she says to Bing, I want to go to Prime, Flair, and whatever it's going to cost. The tickets alone are $1,000, $1,200, and I need an extra $1,000, $1,300 to buy my clothes and whatever, $2,500, and in return, I am willing to perform sexual favors for you. Right? Is that wrong?
What the age you said?
I'm just asking. That's what I said. The age 21, 23, overage. They're over their adult age. Is that wrong, or is it a transaction?
But it's consenting individual, consenting adults.
Consenting adults.
Yes.
Is it wrong?
You see, but there's a danger in the consenting adult pointer.
Yes.
If somebody is destitute.
Yep.
And they want to do what the society said should be done around this time.
Mm-hmm.
Let me frame it differently. Is it love? Let's take it out of the transaction. Is it love, or how does love manifest itself? Where Stephen, who makes $1 million a year,
right,
it meets this young woman. Who is 22 or 23. She has gone to community college. She's
right.
She has some subjects, but she can't find a job.
Right.
And Stephen, I'll give you all a different example, right? Some years ago,
keep going.
I'll give you all a different example. Some years ago, right? Listen to this. I know you're attracted to that one, but I take it back. Listen to this. Some years ago, we were interviewing for an assistant, and a young lady sent in a resume. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that jumped out on me in the resume is that her email address, I can't remember her name now, but let's say Diane, it was Sexy Diane. So that's the first no-no. Yeah. But anyway, the young lady came in, and on the thing she said she likes something, and modeling. Right? Cool. She likes to model. And then as we were interviewing her, as I was interviewing her, the young lady asked, would you like me to model for you?
Oh, absolutely.
No,
I suppose you said no, right? Yeah.
We don't like
those are the kind of transactional things that take place, because she probably thinks, a different prospective employer probably would have had a model in more ways than one.
Absolutely.
But to me, that brought the interview to an end.
So you just had the standard modeling, right?
No, this is back to when had Joe been 20 years younger. We're in a different story.
No. Stephen, you're forgetting that Henry Kissinger just said that power is the greatest aphrodisiac there is.
True.
We were talking about power.
Very true. We were just talking about power, the greatest aphrodisiac.
Beside carnival, though, guys, do you think people generally, I've heard stories about mothers using their girl children to survive, basically, to have them do things to get money to survive. and that they can't survive. They don't have this. They don't have that. Do you really believe these stories
It
are
depends
happening in the
upon what you
country?
mean by survival. As I'm sure Jomo will tell you, are you talking about basic survival, being able to eat and have something over your house, or are you talking about survival because you feel you're entitled to want something more than basic survival? Jomo?
But I think increasingly being that is happening. It has always happened, but I think increasingly it's happening. You would for mothers, depending on who you are, would project the children, your children, to you because the understanding, all right, being is a man of means. If my daughter is with him, she's gonna come home with some more money, which may help to turn the pot over in the house.
Yep.
We see it now with children at supermarkets. You see some very young children standing
Yes.
outside supermarkets, and one actually told me that his mom sent him out
Yeah.
with the hope that he could get a few dollars and he may be able to buy bread or whatever else. And that is a reflection of the dire economic situation in the country, where more and more people feel compelled to do things that they would not have conceived 10, 15, 20 years ago, either out of shame or some other real reason.
Or Jomo, is it that I see like you, I see a lot of these children, and a lot of them that I see are well dressed, look reasonably well fed. These are children being used by adults to get, not because they are really hungry or necessarily, but it's because people decide they want something as opposed to they need something.
What's the difference?
Well, there could be some of that. There could be some of that. But you know, children, you see them standing up outside a Subway or Kentucky.
Yeah, correct.
Children are attracted to these things, right? So if they could mobilize a few dollars and they could get us. I remember when I was a young boy growing up. If we had sufficient money to go into Miss Dixon's shop and buy a glass of Morby, a bread and butter with sausage and cheese, you know you are having a great evening.
Yeah.
So if one of these young boys mainly can get sufficient money to buy a Subway or to buy a 2-part Kentucky chicken, that is an outstanding afternoon for one of them.
All right, Kung, quickly before you go, have you given any consideration to your top 3 picks for the Calypso finals?
No, I haven't had a chance to pay any attention to Calypso this year.
Neither, not really. No. I know Fire Empress will be there. I'm pretty sure. Outside of that, no, I'm sure it'll be whatever it is. I'm not, to be honest. I'm not terribly. I had a good chat with Abijah the other day on the road, and it was interesting too. Because my thing, I mean, Calypsonians really, in my view, are there to hold the powers that be accountable in particular. And I think Jomo said it last week or the week before, that therefore have more license to say certain things in a certain manner, right? But I mean, you look at a song like Sheena's, which is a very strong song. Although I think from a Calypso viewpoint, I don't particularly... I like the lyrics because I think she's hitting hard. But when I combine the lyrics with the music and so on and the melody behind it, I don't think it's a terribly good Calypso, right? Whereas an Abijah is hitting hard, and he's combined everything well. He's a professional. He's been at this a long time. But I suspect people like Chanel, who sings these boring songs, what I regard as boring songs, are more likely to do quite well there. Fire Empress will do quite well too, because she sings them same kind of things too, for the most part. That don't hit too hard.
But that's the thing, Stephen. What we have that's passing for Calypso, I guess if you could sing these days, you are bound to reach. You are bound to please.
Yes.
Nobody's concerned about Calypso. People write a essay and sing it.
That's right.
And that is not a Calypso. That is an essay. And if you can sing it well, then people say, "Oh," and worse, if you write about child abuse or something like that, that's a home run.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I mean, I look at the lady who came second, Nubian Empress, in the second for the female Calypso, and I heard her song a couple of times, and I think, Jesus Lord, that's the way that song made it too. Not I don't have anything against the lady and her singing ability, but we don't, it's not a big deal about the van culture. It's about what the rest of you. It's just a horrible song overall. I don't like it. I think it's terrible. But the judges have decided that it will be of that. I'm not going to Calypso semifinals or finals. I just think the judging is awful.
Well, because I miss most of it, I will go. But I thought if we're talking about Calypso in the tradition of Calypso, then to me you have to bring Abijah in there. You have to bring Sule.
Yep.
You have to have Man Sick. Those are classic calypso rendition.
Yep.
Some of the others
because they're hitting out against the
No. Calypso is essentially is a mirror
of your society.
Right? It's a mirror on the society. I'm not talking. It doesn't have to be. Take for example, Perseverance. Perseverance wasn't hitting at anybody, but it was a classic calypso.
Yep.
This society needs a spectacle. Didn't really hit at anybody, but it mirrored society. Red Rat by what's his name now? Who died? Lexi. That was a classic calypso, well composed. The kind of calypsos. Who remembers what Zangi sang and won the competition 3 or 4 times?
Yep.
Who remembers?
Yeah, that's true. Whatever happened to him? He was you're right. Because we all said the same thing at the time. It's boring. Nobody's going to remember this. But he could sing. He had a good voice, I thought.
But that's the thing. That's my point. If you can sing well, if you can sing well, you are almost with a mediocre song.
Yeah.
You're almost guaranteed to be up top. Anyway, I gotta run.
I thank you, Kong, for catch you tomorrow morning.
Until we meet again. Take care.
All right, let's take a quick break. Come right back.
Soca is live.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company. Your vision is our mission at Quartz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.quartzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in store for details.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact live. Party from home. Subscribe, follow, send us your voice notes. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, or call us live in studio. Be where the world is going. Stay home and connect online. Boom 1069, IKTV. Join the evolution. It's all about you. Connect now.
That no government has the right to take away. It sets out our right to freedom and equality and justice.
How many times do I have to teach you? Just because something works doesn't mean that it cannot be improved.
Taiwan International Healthcare Training Center integrates the health capability in Taiwan and keeps providing continuing education trainings for healthcare professionals. In the past 20 years, TIHTC has successfully trained over 2,000 international healthcare professionals from 77 countries.
We will save more Ukrainian children's lives with the sincere support of the people of Taiwan. All of our colleagues, we want to thank Taiwan for this help.
Since the 1950s, Taiwan has been providing various medical aid and technical services to African countries. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Taiwan assisted its diplomatic allies in helping pregnant women maintain maternal and child health. Early neonatal mortality rates have seen a decline of 1%, with the number of deaths per 1,000 newborns dropping from 234 to 189.
Nationwide affordable and accessible healthcare is a reality in Taiwan, with 99.9% of the population enrolled in the health insurance system. In an effort to promote fairness and human rights, foreign nationals have also been included in the healthcare system. According to the global database website Numbeo, Taiwan has topped the list of the healthcare index for 4 consecutive years as of 2022.
Taiwan continues to be an indispensable partner on the path to global post-pandemic recovery.
Well, there are countries like Taiwan who were exemplary, saw the problem, and
we believe that Taiwan's role as an observer in World Health Assembly meetings is in the best interest of the international health community and also is an important partner in the fight.
My mama was right. She said me hot and gang gang. My mama told me that me hot and gang gang. When you look at me, yeah, me hot and gang gang. Yeah, yeah. She said me hot and gang gang. Me hot and gang gang. Yeah, hot like fire, hot pepper sauce, hot in the morning, hot after dark.
Always wanted a motorcycle, but they've been too expensive. I pass in on my way to work, and then boom, I see courts of motorcycles outside. I'm excited. I get up one day, I go down, I spoke to this guy. I think his name was Sheena, this short, chubby little guy, you know. I purchased 2 bikes so far. It was the 150 SL and the 250 Dragon. This blue, beautiful AKT TT Dragon. This is my baby. I call her Becky. She gives me the best ride ever. My name is Storyboy Nick, and I live to ride my AKT.
Discover new Guinness Smooth. Perfectly balanced for a smooth, refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth.
Your vision is our mission at Quartz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye exam.
Baby girl, set your bucket just in case the pressure bust it. When me come lay pipe on, when me come lay pipe on, when me come lay pipe on, just set your water bucket, girl, lay pipe on. When me come lay pipe on, when me start lay pipe on, just set your water bucket, girl, check the water coming, check the meter fast, check the water coming, turn off the main stop car, check the water coming, check the meter fast.
Scorpion, the stinger man.
Finally, the road match has arrived. Finally, Bing. Listen to that. Listen to the quality of that music.
Yeah,
Them.
Scorpion
That's
is
a great
bad,
song.
bad,
Scorpion,
bad.
You know, last
He's
night I came
consistent,
home
eh?
on Saturday night. Saturday night. Because I was at by Ricky and Michelle's place.
It's stand by, Mr. Weeks. We're coming to you after this.
Right? And after about, so I turn on Boom. It's 12:20 in the morning, and if you hear good music playing on Boom, it was shocking. Really nice raga soca stuff from Vincentian music.
One is raga, one is
Real
what did I say to you this morning? What did I say to you this morning?
I told you.
Same thing I said this morning.
I said it this morning. I said it this morning.
I make no apologies for wanting to hold on to a woman when I'm dancing.
Because you have bad
I know
knees.
kid don't want. He just want to jump up with single man.
No,
That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with homosexuality.
You don't have
nothing wrong with that.
Kid, you don't explain what his problem is.
Yeah.
He's got a bad knee, so therefore he can't. He can't
jump up.
That is also true. That is also true. But
so don't deprive the rest of us.
I don't want to deprive you. I'm happy for you to jump up with your 10 single young men. I'm cool with that. That's what you want. I don't care.
So why is it?
Are you going to put on your high heels too?
Bring Mr. Weeks. Mr. Weeks, is now time for you to play the job. Let's bring Mr. Weeks in.
No, but we have plenty good music. That one from Scorpion is really bad though.
Sir Lancelot is in the building.
And if Kid agrees with us.
Yeah, a lot of good music.
That's a lot of good music, but they don't play them.
You just said you be hearing them.
I hear not at 12:20 at night. You don't hear them during the day or in prime time or in the afternoons.
Well, it's thanks to me and Mario. And
thank you. Y'all did a great job. That was some seriously good music.
Yeah.
Mr. Weeks, good morning. Thank you for saving me this morning, Mr. Weeks. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Sir Dwight.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Sir Lancelot.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, kiddo, morning. Greetings to your listeners. Well, Bing, continue the conversation.
Mr. Weeks, would you like to see Bing in his high heels again?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, I saw it once. That was about 5 to 6 years ago. I don't know if he still does that. Dress up in his dress.
Mr. Weeks, you know better than to believe this cutlass in the studio this morning.
Mr. Weeks, you've heard the music for St. Vincent Carnival this year. What's your views? What are you hearing?
Stephen, one of the mistakes Caribbean people made is to try to cut up calypso and partition calypso and put one set over there and call it that and put another set over there and call it something else.
It's music.
Foolishness, you know. We have people from overseas outside of the Caribbean singing calypso.
Yep.
Calypso started making a breakthrough. And then you can take one set of the calypso and call it something else. So now try to make a breakthrough internationally with it. Anyway, to answer your question, there's always one or two songs that are quite appealing to me. And usually these are the ones with live music, with what I call music.
Mm-hmm. Real music, not just a computer drum pattern thing here.
No, because most of those with that is just like even in the old days when you had a band.
Yep.
And a group of the guys, maybe not even a group, one or two of them are with maybe the drummer, a guitarist in the band room, and they're building a vibe now.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes not even the real vocalist, one of the other members jump in and start to sing. And that's what I'm hearing now being recorded and put out as music.
Yeah. Yep. But Scorpion always makes nice music, though. You can depend on him forever.
Great.
Good music. So hopefully Boom will play this song a little bit more. You know. So. I mean, I like the Boom song too by Nicky. I think that's a great song too.
We have a lot of
good songs,
we have a lot of
but
great
you ask
music.
most people out there, and they will tell you the music is crap this year. You know why they're saying it? Because they don't hear it. They're not hearing good music.
Because the music are coming late. We have a lot of great music. The great music are coming late.
Okay.
The so-called crap music is what started the festival, started the carnival.
All right. Cool.
You know, the great music are coming late.
Cool. All right. Each his own. Mr. Weeks, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good, you know. I am heading towards the exit, the departure. So I just
the end is much closer than the beginning, my friend.
I just take my time and live with you. I enjoy every moment of it, no matter what difficulties come. I'm grateful for life, Stephen. But Stephen, you're a great man, you know.
You know he's about to insult me on his start route. I'm going to get insulted. Go ahead. Cuss me now. Go ahead.
Anyway, I know that from sociology.
You know what he's coming to it
next.
Sociology,
they teach you if you
want
want
to. You up first.
Yeah.
Let me see what he's coming. I know I'm going to get
good at that.
Oh, he's very good at that.
He would start telling you how good you are, then you would say, however, but. Let's wait for it.
I know. Go ahead.
Let's wait till the mic drops.
Let me take my licks, Lansford.
Hey, Stephen, I can beg you later, but I have permission to do that here. So that's not the reason why I'm doing it. But, you know, I always admire people who can look at others straight and just tell them, you know, I hear you tell a pastor, a higher pastor at that, one who is able to see things. Tell him you're an idiot. And then you come back and you tell him you're a very bright man. but you tell me, man, you're dangerous.
Yeah, well, that's what Bing pays me the big money for.
Mr. Weeks is a problem he's had from since you were a kid. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Not just so
bad genes.
I have to apologize, Stephen.
Bad genes.
Yeah, but
and like how he said this morning, he will campaign against the NDP if such and such were to become the candidate.
In my honest opinion, certain things I feel strongly about.
Then you can't help into the politics, huh?
No, can't resist. Can't resist.
No, I'm just saying you mentioned a quality about the Cutlass, and I'm saying just similar qualities that he see. I mean,
you cannot talk about. Give another example other than one in the politics.
Couldn't help himself. Can't help himself.
In as much as you mentioned Stephen and his politics, Stephen, I don't know if this is his only problem in life, but certainly his biggest one. Stephen cannot release himself from his moorings. You remember that phrase, Bing?
Yeah. Yes. Ralph told me that once. He said to Bing, Bing just cannot release his NDP moorings. He gone back to his moorings. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
He told me that.
So Bing probably teach you how to do it, Stephen.
No, but I'll tell you, but Mr. Weeks, you're right. Lansford, you're right, because at the end of the day, right, I have certain, and we all do, we have certain things that we hold on to, whether you want to call them principles or you want to call them whatever, right? But I am a person who I guess I describe myself as socially liberal and economically conservative on that route. And I am along that route, if you like. I lean more towards the capitalism. I lean more towards that you help people by teaching them. I am not a big fan of handouts and giveaways. Right, so I mean that's why I'm telling you I have problems dealing with socialist parties, because in my view they have never been successful anywhere in the world that I see it, right? And I'm a big believer, Lansford, in particular, in a thing called freedom, right? And people look at Cuba, for example, and say, but they're looking after the people, everybody's got, but they don't have freedom. There is a price, and what are you willing to do that? So my foundation is one of freedom, first of all. And giving people opportunities to develop themselves, not reliant upon me to give them a handout. So that is why you're right. That is my moorings, if you like.
Do you think there's any difference between both parties or anything the way that
not now, no. There used to be, though. There used to be. Lansford, sorry, go ahead.
Stephen, I have a response to that, but
of course.
Remember, I don't promise you I haven't cut you to this. So another time.
Yeah.
Maybe another time.
Sure.
I'll respond to that.
Yep.
But hey, Bing. For the last few weeks, Pastor has been doing great. Remember we spoke about that on Thursday.
You pull him up, I heard.
Me?
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what Bing says. Bing said, boy.
Pull up who?
Pastor.
No, man, Pastor's my friend.
Good.
Pastor has been talking education.
Excellent.
I hope none of you convinced, well, you and me there, Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope none of you convince him to change his direction today and talk about some of the things you've been talking about this morning.
Lansford, what's the purpose of education?
Well, that's what I'm coming to, Steve.
Okay.
You're free to disagree with me and,
Sure.
and jump in as usual. You know, in our case, what we consider to be our education system was started under colonial rule.
Of course.
And it was designed to achieve a certain outcome.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, one was to select a few persons for a particular purpose to serve in the administration.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the main objective of the colonial education system.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a few places in secondary schools, and you select a few persons based on their demographics generally to go there, and still few will emerge to join the civil service, to work in the banks, and so forth.
Right.
So that was a major objective, in my opinion. I haven't read it anyway, but looking at it, that's what I see.
And you, I presume you're going to go on to say you think it has changed now.
No, not yet. It didn't change
okay.
yet. We are about to change it.
Okay.
The other objective was to create, I can't even say citizens, but create a people who are, can't even come up with the verb, but who are, the outcome is that these would be persons who are living and interested in a particular way of life. So when I entered the grammar school, my first 3 years in grammar school was an amazing one. I didn't see it then, but even now as I look back, I see it, because that first 3 years focus on a general education. So you had some arts, you had some science, so you had arts in music, in art as a subject, ART, drawing and so forth, and painting. I said music, and some other areas of art that were involved in the other subjects. And then there were the humanities, the history. You did general history during that period.
Mm-hmm.
So you did European history, African history, and so forth. The people who came. That was the text we used. And you did some, as I said, some technical education. So you go over to the technical center.
Yep.
That area where the library is now. And one term you did some woodwork. You did some, the other term you did some metal work, welding and so forth. You fabricated something, you had a project you fabricated, whether it's a candle stand, a towel rack, a tray, them kind of things that you take home and you can feel proud of yourself. And you did some technical drawing as well. And then you had the sciences. And we didn't have the sciences as you have now, where you have integrated science. And in our lower form 1 to 3, you did general science. So in that you did some plants, animals, electricity, and the point is you got a real rounded general education. And then you go into Form 4 and Form 5. That's when you start writing exams now to weed you out whether or not you want to follow the education. And it's at that time you choose a stream, whether you want to be in the sciences, if you're qualified to go there, because that was given preference, or you just want to remain in the general arts, the history and so forth. And by that time, CXC had already come in, so you had a stream, technical education, and you had a business stream. That was what my education was like. Now we have attempted to change that, or we are attempting to change that, and we have an education revolution. And so we're giving everybody now the opportunity to get into to secondary school. But when you go to secondary school now, the system of teaching, and this is what I heard Pastor complaining about, and I totally agree with him, the system of teaching is the same.
Thank you.
It's a lot of new.
So in other words, there was no revolution. You allowed more people to go to the same system. That's not a revolution in my view.
That's revolutionary. Now you allow everybody to go, as against just a few. But in terms of the what is taught, I agree with you. There was no revolution, and the way more so the way what it is taught. There's no revolution there, and that's where work needs to be done. And I heard Pastor complaining about it, and I totally agree with you. You go to school and the teachers assume that everybody can just sit still in a classroom and you get a lot of notes and you understand it, and you not even understand it because they don't care about you understanding it.
I have a question whenever you can, let me in, Mr. Weeks.
You remember it, and they give you a test that you when you answer the questions, you demonstrate that you can remember. And if you do well in that area, you get a good grade. They're being asked a question now.
Why then if this education revolution is so successful, and that's not what you're saying,
That's not what he's saying, correct?
A pastor, but there are a lot of people who just been pushing that, beating that. As Sir James said, nice, good words, trigger words, right? Why, if it is so successful, that people like Stephen Joachim's and others like my family are choosing to send our kids overseas to boarding school to get education? Stephen, maybe you can answer it on behalf. And I know other families who have and are doing it. And maybe if other families who had the financial means to do it, they would have done it as well.
Well, I think it starts with what Mr. Weeks said in regard to what is the purpose of education, right? I have always felt the purpose of education was to teach young people to think, to be creative, to question. That is the first role to me of education, right? The reality in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as Mr. Weeks just said, we allowed a lot more people into school, but we're teaching them the same thing. The purpose of education in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is to prepare people to get a job. And my argument is that the more obedient you are, the education system in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is designed to test your obedience levels. Those who are very obedient are able to sit down and memorize and regurgitate what the teacher wants. They can't think for themselves, most of them. They can't. I know medical doctors, I know lawyers, and I regard them as wonderful technicians, but they're not intelligent people. Intellect to me has about the ability to think about different things, right? My children, the quality of education that my children get in Canada, I feel. My children's mathematics skills are probably worse than if they would have been in St. Vincent. Science skills may not be as good either. But ask them to stand up in front of a microphone and speak to somebody and communicate. Ask them to make a persuasive case for something they don't believe in. They know how to go and do the research and deal with that. So that is the difference in my view, right? That is the difference. I want my kids to be able to be whole, well-rounded human beings who can adapt to almost anywhere in the world they're at and what they want to do. And that to me is the fun. That is why I send my kids overseas, because I can't get that in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right? I can't. You know, it's like I sent my kids to Sugar Mill Academy here, private primary school here. Everybody says it's so expensive. It's $25 a day. Big deal if you work it out over a year, right? It's not that big a deal. But again, I happen to think people like Liz Cordis and what that school does is they teach you to think. And of course, they also have to make sure that they can get the right common entrance results. So everybody gets excited because they get 3 out of the top 10 or whatever. But I've never been a big fan of that. Common entrance to me, as I've said a million times, is a day of national failure in the country. Where after all these years, we still have to find a way to screen our children because our secondary school system is deemed or seems to be inadequate. Because if you don't get into girls' high school or boys' high school, generally the masses of you are really screwed. So I just think the poor primary system needs to be more focused along the lines where we need to teach. You have to understand the skills are changing. Huh? The idea of being able to sit down and memorize something now is no longer relevant. There's a thing called the internet now. There's a thing called artificial intelligence now that's coming. The jobs and the job skills required and the life skills required, more important than the job skills, that the life skills required for success are going to be around thinking and application, not around memorization and regurgitation. And that's what we do here. We have CSEC, we have CAPE, and they're all basically around show me how good you take instructions. I tell you this, I want you to tell it back to me. And if you do it really well, I'm going to give you a good grade. And that good grade, I'm going to send you to UE. Right? And when you come back from UE, I'm going to give you a job because you take instructions well. That's my view.
Mr. Weeks?
Bing, you are listening?
Yes.
Also, I don't want you to ask me the question again because
I'm not asking you the question. I just want to know if you share the same.
Stephen gave you I couldn't give you a better answer. I would have added maybe one or two more sentences, but as I promised at the earlier, I ain't curse you today, Bing. I am not going to curse you. So you can beg for that all you want. Yeah, Stephen, I totally agree with you. But here, Stephen, you know of a group, an organization that we call for short science.
Mm-hmm.
And science consists of a number of us who it stands for the Science Initiative for Environmental and Conservation Education. So it's a number of us who, our interest, as the name suggests, is in conservation and the preservation of our heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And developing well-rounded young people, even though the focus is on science and science education. One of our mantras is that there's science in everything. Everything you do, there's some science in it.
Correct.
So even when we are doing art, we're doing coloring and we're designing coloring books, and so there's some science behind it that is involved. This organization existed for a while, and we work quietly, I think. Most times when you hear about us, it's when we are putting on our, what is commonly called our summer program.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, Stephen, we are organizing a great summer program that goes to the heart of some of the problems that you have just identified there, where we would be teaching, first of all, the theme behind this program, and I prefer to look at it as a workshop for 17 to 17-year-old young people.
Okay.
The theme is researching our biodiversity, preserving our heritage. I repeat, researching our biodiversity, preserving our heritage. This activity, this program will be held at the Anglicans have been very kind to us. The facility is not free, but they've been very kind. So we're going to be having it at the grounds of the Pastoral Center up at Montrose from the 24th of August to the 24th of July to the 4th of August. And it promises to be great because as the theme suggests, a great focus would be on research. And one of the things that Pastor complained about, which I agree with, is that our education system focuses on, I don't want to use the word that Pastor used. I heard one of being announced, straighten the Pastor with that. Pastor using words and he don't give the meaning. So I prefer to give the meaning. So we're not focusing on and talk. And while there's some of that, but after the talk, there's action, there's doing. We have the children doing field research, doing research on the internet to classify things that they find in our environment, learning research methodology. And we're talking about real research methodology that is used at the university level and beyond. That's what we're doing this year. And to me, it's a contribution to the education system, because while these children go into school for the whole year, or a significant portion of the year, and sitting in a classroom and taking these set of notes, and I agree with Pastor again that these are notes that you can give these, you can put on a website somewhere, and the children go and get it, and so that they can get it there and read it, because all of them have access to some kind of device from which they can use to get these notes, and you can post even more material there for them than you can give them in the classroom, as some of us teachers still do. But in addition to that, as I said, we are having real practical activities, hands-on activities, getting the students, the children, the young people to understand how these things are done in the academic world, and getting them to develop their intellect, because as I insist, there's a difference between things academic and things intellectual.
Yep.
Because intellectual is about, as you said quite right this morning, intellect is about thinking.
Yep.
And looking at the information and being able to arrive at a conclusion that may or may not be right, but it is consistent with the principles that you observe in the material, or whatever you have just looked at. And while we do that, we teach them that we're not leaving out what you alluded to, Stephen, in terms of them being able to present and to work in groups, because that's a focus of what we do as well. So I'm inviting two things, Stephen. As I said, I didn't have permission to ask you, but yet I'm still doing it. I'm inviting you to contribute to the hosting of that. And I'm inviting parents who are interested to register their
how does one register? How does one contribute? Contribute to this.
Well, Stephen, you know the lead person behind this organization. You know her well. I prefer.
So I presume they will contact me.
No, that's what I'm saying. I am contacting you.
Yeah, but I need. First of all, I'm going to walk out of here in half an hour, and I'm going to.
And you're going to forget.
Because I'm old, so I always tell people, send me an email, write me, drop off something, right? Because I will forget, but it's something that I would definitely be happy to try and support.
Yes, I appreciate that, Stephen.
It's a good thing.
So that's one. Or you can go. We try to use the technology, and you can go to the Science Facebook page, and you get all of the information there. Or you can call 593-3763. And the person who answers would be able to give you.
That's for repeat the age groups again. The age group.
7 to 17. 7 to 17.
7 to 17. Okay.
Yes. So those who have gone through the infant stage at the primary level.
And dates.
How many days a week?
Dates and dates.
The 24th of July until the 4th of August. So the last week in
So it's a
July.
2-week period.
Yes, it's a 2-week period, a full 2-week period. Except that there's a
how many young people are you trying to accommodate? Do you hope to be able to accommodate?
We want to make it good, so right now we're looking at 25.
Okay, is it on a first come first serve basis, or how does that
It's
work?
first come first serve, and yes, it's first come first serve. And
Where will it be held?
At
Pastoral
the
Center.
Anglican Pastoral Center.
Okay.
Okay, great. Oh, that's good.
And
That's
it's
great.
close to the Ghana, so some of our activities will be conducted at the Ghana. Because being last year in your absence, we had a wildlife exhibition as part of the program, and it was well received.
I remember that.
And so we're going to repeat it this year, and we're going to do it better. We're doing it well, let me say that yet, because I have the responsibility to write to them, and I've not done that yet. But we collaborate with the forestry department, and I can safely say that they would be willing to collaborate with us this year again. And last year we had some setbacks, but it was great. But I think this year it is going to be even better. I'm talking about the wildlife exhibition and the workshop generally. Among the people we have as facilitators are a veterinary doctor who specializes in wildlife. We have persons from forestry, the different areas of forestry. We have a postgraduate in conservation biology. And that's the kind of persons we have leading this effort generally, and in the program. But at the Scholar Summer program, I see it as a workshop for our children, our young people this year.
We need more of these initiatives to keep the young people.
Yes, there are many of these activities are around, and I encourage parents to get your children out. The sad thing, the bad thing is that some of them are really babysitting activities.
Mr. Weeks, is there a cost for this?
Yes, there's a cost.
How much do the kids have to pay?
They're asking for a $300 contribution, and that covers all the educational material, all the field trips, lunch, and generally everything except the snacks for the children. That covers everything for that 2-week period. Yeah.
Someone online is asking, how do you... Okay, well, yeah, I think you used to mention that already. You could give me an email address for someone who's asking contact.
Someone
who wants to contribute.
On Facebook too, huh?
Yeah, someone who wants to contribute.
On Facebook. There's one I can't remember.
Okay,
well. I hope people not... The members not listening, because they might definitely crucify me. It's an email address you use every day, Stephen. Mm-hmm. And you know how these devices are smart.
Yep, you don't see it.
The address is there, so you don't have
when
to
somebody asks me my phone number, I don't have my number. Sorry, I can't remember it.
And there are some numbers that you call every day, Stephen. You don't.
Yep.
You see them, you would ask, "What is this?
Yep.
Whose number is this?"
But it's on Facebook.
Well, Mr. Weeks, what you can do is that you can drop me the email address and we'll pin it to our on my Facebook feed. So persons who will be able to see it if they want to make a contribution or they want to, ask any other further questions.
I appreciate that very much, but I will do more than the email address. I will send you the flyer, and you will put it up. That's a command.
And I will obey my command.
Yeah.
Josh saying the contribution is not the cost. Does this mean it is free? That's Josh. Max is saying that's a great price. Honestly, it's really cheap.
Yep. And maybe those of us out there who want to support can look at, hey, we're going to support 2 kids or 1 kid or 3 kids or 4 kids, whatever.
That's why persons are asking
Makes it easier to say, hey,
for email address and all that.
Great.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Weeks. I think you've been very effective with this morning.
Thank you guys for having me. Stephen, enjoy your week, and you will hear from us.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. You take good
I
care of
will tell
yourself.
them I went and begged you without their permission, and
What want me? You ain't thanking me? Yeah, and you ain't begging me. That's all. That's all.
I would thank you when you put up the thing. I can beg
You haven't done anything yet? What's
But
the thank you?
Cutlass ain't do nothing yet either. But
No,
again,
but I
you
think
see-
he's
you
confident
see-
in
you
me.
see how- you see how these Redskins people get treated in this country? Oh, Lord.
He's confident. He's confident.
Grant, boy, you're right there. You're right, Grant. You're right. You're right.
that's why I enjoy when Grant and Stephen are out.
That's what they treated me really badly this weekend. There
Stephen,
were some serious blows. They
Stephen,
took
you remember when Grant they tell us about rats?
Rats in the police who eat out the cocaine, the exhibits. I stay far from that.
Carnival time. We're not interested in politics. Carnival
Yeah,
time.
we're not talking politics.
Thank you, Mr. Weeks.
Thank you.
Have yourself a great one. Have yourself a great one. You know, I remember the swimming association used to do these summer programs.
Yep.
Stephen, last year as well too.
Yeah,
I know.
There's a lot of different.
My son
people
came
out there. Yeah.
came crazy, frantic.
Yeah.
You know, Daddy, I need to get into this program, and I really have to. I really want to. What was it? The Coast Guard was having their summer program.
Right. That's why there's a lot of people put on summer programs. So for those of you who have children out there, you know, look for a program to get your kid to do something rather than sit around on their backside for 10 weeks.
Something, you know.
Doing nothing. So
That's when they get into
go do
trouble.
something. Yeah, go do
That's when they
something.
get, and they
Keep
learn
them busy.
things.
Keep them busy.
They learn something too.
Yep. Good.
Yeah. Where do we go from here, buddy?
Where do you want to go, Bing? You want me to go with you? So you're inviting me somewhere?
I know you won't go. I want to go to heaven. I know you definitely would not go there.
Well, actually, I was talking to somebody the other day, a good Christian friend, and she's decided she doesn't want to go to heaven
Because
anymore.
based on you,
She
right?
said it's going to be seriously boring. You could imagine every day getting up every morning.
Thank you, Carter, for saving me. Thank you. Good morning, Carter, your life.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
As I hear you two financial experts speaking here, could you identify? We know who is the richest person in the world. I mean, because these things don't hide in certain countries.
Yes.
How many millionaires, Stephen, do we have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
We have
does it mean finance, money, million?
Money or wealth?
Yes. There's a
Talking
difference.
about millionaires in terms of money.
On cash in the bank, you mean?
Well, wherever they got the cash.
No. You could own property. You could own like a lawyer friend of ours who owns 250 acres in the countryside. I mean, but has no cash in the bank. Is he wealthy? Is he?
Hey, I'm talking about the raw cash.
Raw cash. Okay.
Cash that is accessible.
Okay. Which currency we using?
Hello?
What currency we using?
Well, you could use EC, you could use US.
And what bank?
There's 956 of them.
What bank? And is the bank local? Stephen asked me to ask if it's a local bank.
I'm speaking about our own resources here because what bothers you? What we
you coming to us with no Panama Papers nonsense now, Stephen, say, right?
Well, that's something like corruption.
I just asking you because I want to be sure. Let's tell me to ask that.
Anytime you speak about Panama Papers and whatever and so on, over the years you hear people have money in
Yeah, but get back to the question. Stephen was just
researching. And answer the question. In the United States, for example, around the world, right? It is estimated that there's about 1.1% of the world's adult population, right, who are millionaires. But in the United States, it's about 8.8% of the people. But when they remember, they're not counting millionaires that he's counting. He is counting millionaires as cash in the bank, which I think is wrong. Because cash is not about cash in the bank. It's also about what is it you're worth.
We heard what Kevin Little said. You know?
Yeah, correct. Kevin might not have $1 million in the bank, but he's probably got properties worth 20 million. Who knows?
So do you think that these people are important to us? That's why I raised the question in terms of assisting or pumping money into the economy instead of us having to wait for foreign investors, to come into the country.
No, I'll tell you who is really important to us. It's not necessarily those people who already have the money, because a lot of them may not be reinvesting. They're just keeping what they have going on, right? Keeping flowing. What's really important is a lot of the little people who start out. A friend of mine who came from South Rivers, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago. And are now certainly millionaires now, and built their business, bought property. And I think that is a wonderful thing. Those are the kind of people who create real jobs as you go along.
Yeah, well, we need to identify them. We don't, I know they say some of us have money, but we're not investing it.
No, and most people who have money in investment are not investing in it.
You make investment when he's the poor, as though we're begging with bread, man.
Yeah. Well, I don't invest money in investment in the grenadines either. I don't.
Someone said being asset rich but cash poor.
That is correct, and a lot of people are like that. A lot of people.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
That's
an interesting thing.
Asset rich but cash poor.
Yeah, absolutely. You own properties, but you don't have any cash in the bank.
But there's the other side which I hear Major League talk about. So that in St. Vincent we are poverty rich.
What does he mean by that?
What did he think about it?
No, what did he mean? Explain.
That's we have a lot of poor people.
We do. I'm sure most societies have a lot of relatively poor people.
Yeah. Poverty
wealth is a relative concept, I think. Wealth is relative.
Caller, good morning, you're live.
Good morning. Good morning.
Stephen
Hannibal this morning. And Mr. Weeks, I like the summer program there. And everybody on it, and I wanna put it out there. I wanna sponsor a couple of them kids with Mr. Weeks summer program. That's my
get a few people together. Say, hey,
giving back as a intention. Now also a lot of people.
Max, you wanna sponsor some of the kids? That's what you just said.
Yes, I wanna pay the $300 for a couple children that Mr. Weeks program.
Okay, good. Yeah.
That Mr. Weeks program is having. That is just me.
Yes.
I don't prefer blessing. I just be the blessing.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
No, a lot of us are so rich, or a lot of we are so poor, all we have is money. And my philosophy is being, if in order for me to stay, if me have to stay, if by me staying rich, mean Bing Joseph and Stephen Joe can have to stay poor, me now want to be rich.
Right.
No.
You are not among the 99% of intentions, obviously. Most of us want to be above the other people. We judge ourselves by how our neighbors are.
Here one Stephen, we just prefer blessing, but we don't care if the blessing is knocking food out of your daughter's mouth and calling it a blessing.
Yep.
And you say, and you earlier in the segment, you were saying, we are wicked toward each other.
Yep.
And we need to learn to practice do unto others as we would like others to do unto us.
Yep.
So now we have this materialistic mindset that we want more.
Yep.
Stephen, you work with a bunch of millionaires down Mustique.
Yep.
I work with a bunch of millionaires here in Washington, D.C. I work for the United States government and I also have my own electric company. And I choose to remain my electric company.
Max, he dropped out there.
Max?
I think he dropped out. I wanted to ask him what is his interpretation, which you asked me, which I don't have a problem of poverty rich. Yeah. Max, is that you?
No, my brother, this is Mr. Hamilton. Greetings, my brother.
Yes,
Good day. Let me say why I feel bad. I've been on this radio station promoting it. I say Bing, Joe Kim, and we go through all of that. And this morning I'm trying my best to get in here because let me say this, they meet me, Bing this, Joe Kim.
Mr. Hamilton, nobody's blocking you, okay? We don't have a caller ID. Nobody's blocking you.
No, listen to me, I never said you block me. I'm saying other callers. I didn't hear no caller. This radio station is different than all the others.
Okay, make your point, please, Mr. Hamilton.
Please give me some callers, Ollie. We want to hear joking, we want to hear yes, let me hear everybody, but let me hear Honey, let me hear the others too. Just one thing, Mr. Joking. This morning you spoke about the Russia situation. Russia situation is very, very unique.
Yep.
Never did we see this full-fledged kind of attack against a leader in Russia. And I don't think it might happen in China so easy. But what we have is a Wagner group. And this Wagner group is the elite group, just like Venezuela, just like all the other countries. And these were specially trained with the best equipment and so on. Because what Ponte and what leaders want is outside of the very military, because the military could turn against you. I want a special group of men. This is what I've done. This is what has given him headache. And it's a lesson for St. Vincent. And I warned my brother Curtis King, you don't have to get first to put and make joke up and coming, because when you put aside Friday and they block you out, they can't get nice radio. Doggy, one of them will allow you get it. And we could get Curtis King and Jimmy Prince, who we used to know when people say, hey, Gonzalo, it's time to stop this kind of communistic thing. And then, you know, they walk away, they'll government fall. And I've already said I'm happy for what is happening in Russia. It's the beginning of possibly the end of for us to get back our country, where we're not going to have to pay all this arm and a leg because one murderer decided to hold the whole at ransom. Look at what he has done to his own people. And so we pray for the people
Poverty
in
rich.
Russia.
Could you explain to Mr. Joking what is poverty rich? What is poverty rich?
What? Well, hello?
What is poverty rich?
What does the term poverty rich mean? Being said that Mr. Leacock used that term.
Yes, please.
And I don't know what it means.
What does
so
it
I'm
mean?
asking.
Could you tell Mr. Joking what does that mean in your opinion?
Well, the thing is that, you know, you could translate it in different terms, but I think maybe, you know, you could possibly mean then that, that when you're so poverty rich, you yourself are very rich in resources and extremely poor in the very morality, the very fabric of what makes life. The very godliness, honesty, and so we saw it happen the other day where a millionaire, was literally dying. He said, "Oh God, I had the money, but I can't. Help me, save my life." And literally, he was the best doctors. Literally, he died. And so we have to. I want to have it the right way around, where you have wealth and you have internally that ability to be able to love and to cherish and to use it. We could go to sleep without knowing that you literally take it. One last thing, resources. Brother, let me say this, Brother Weeks, I think you mean well. I don't think you're coming on here but think about the implications it would have for $300. And I'm begging you, please, because right now, 90% of our population can't even come up with 100. If you ask me about how I live, I buy a small tin of milk. Because why? If I only take any kind of money is outside of the little money my wife gets and the little I get from NS, and I'm saying it should not have been this way. We should have been in a position where we have the farmers, we have the businesses, 99% of them literally doing well. It's the other way around. Education, again, let me be very careful. Education is in the whole. Health is in the hole. I spoke to you about the very reality of where the head of power is saying, Mr. Gonzalez, you're only spending 2%. Right now, 80%, 75% to 80% of the medication is missing at Downey Hospital. My brother, we are in trouble. Joe Kim, you know why I love you finally? I love you because you are not afraid to tell the world what is St. Vincent's problem. Our problem is not Ron Gonsalves, a dictator. Our problem is an opposition party that is so disorganized that Gonsalves will stay in power forever. We have to get Friday out. We have to get Leacock out. We have to get new people blood in the opposition, like we had in Jerry Scott, like we had in Louis Jones. These were people, even Francis Gibson, John Horn. These were people with a vision. James Mitchell. They had a vision. They were people oriented. You could have criticized them, they didn't block you. You go to the radio station and say, no, Friday they block you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your content. Yes, Joking, Mr. Hamilton, love you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Hamilton. Thank you. Love you very much.
I most certainly is a man of passionate who believes
passionately rich.
Passionately rich or poverty rich?
I think he's passionately rich. Good morning, caller. You're live.
Hey, big morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Poverty rich.
Yeah, what is that?
It's two things, right? You have property, but you don't have money. I know people who have 3 properties and can't repay one.
I don't think
that's a good point. No, but that is a valid point.
But the bank don't want to lend him money unless you have to put up property and they want to see income come in.
Right. Yes.
If you don't have the income coming in, it make the sense you take him on, you can't pay it.
That is correct. Yeah.
You need a job. I need to have some finance, something coming in before the bank can lend you the money to do some repairs to one of these property or 2 or 3.
Yes.
So that's the difference for me.
Thank you. That makes sense.
You have the property, the asset, but you don't have the cash.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But
Thank you, caller.
You drive all over. You drive all over this country and you see houses amazing houses. This is a country that amazing. When you think people say this is a poor country, boy, drive around and think, really?
I think what Major Leacock is saying when he says poverty rich is that we have more poverty. And that we are rich with poverty. We're rich with poverty.
I'm not sure.
That's what I think he means.
To me, it's what do you mean by poverty, first of all? What is poverty? What is poor being?
It's relative.
Thank you. What is it?
It's relative.
I could make a very strong argument that we have very low poverty in some instances in the Grenadines. Right? In terms of if you're talking about people who have no roof to put, no place to sleep at night, and if you're talking about people who have no food to eat, right? I think there's very low rates of poverty in this country if you look at that. Right? That's just my view. When they finish their census and whatever else they're doing and their poverty programs or whatever. But we have to ask ourselves, what is poverty?
Caller, good morning.
Morning, me again. Like your finger had arthritis.
No, that wasn't me.
Max, your credit cut out.
No,
Max is not poverty
rich. No, I have no credit.
No, Max is rich.
We have unlimited credit for my phone.
Max is rich, yeah.
Could you tell us what is poverty rich?
To me, I embrace poverty rich, to be honest. Poverty rich means somebody don't have to eat no genetically modified organism. They have to eat the food straight from God, nature. To me, somebody who's poverty rich will pick a breadfruit and get, instead of buying a breadfruit in a can, that's a pack of sodium. That is poverty rich. So we have to learn how to.
But that's a good term, then.
People derogatory words.
So Major meant something well. He means well when he say that Vincentians are poverty rich. Then.
Major mean what he said, but I mean what I comprehend.
It's your understanding.
What he said.
Your understanding of what he said. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, because then when I come to St. Vincent Day, I don't want to rub shoulder with tighty people. I want to rub shoulder with people that quote unquote in poverty. Because if you look at an old woman who is in poverty, her skin nice and tight. If you look at an old woman who is in poverty, she could lift up a whole half a sack of potato and carry it half a mile up a hill and don't break a sweat. If you look at a Rasta man who is in poverty, the man's eyes, vision is good because he's eating full organic food. So now we have to learn to embrace our poverty. And this is where politics come in, because politics take our poverty, which is something that could have been positive, and exploit our poverty. I'm talking about agriculture now. And sell our quote-unquote poverty to the people them now must be who go pay arm and a leg for organic food. So we have to learn how to reprogram our mindset because colonialism is plaguing St. Vincent and the Grenadines, north, south, east, and west. That somebody could come in, tell me our thing is trash. Look at marijuana. Marijuana was something for vagabonds. All of a sudden, everybody frantically looking to get into the marijuana industry to exploit marijuana. Remember, not so long ago, marijuana was poverty thing, So we have to really reprogram our mindset.
You could go to a high restaurant and pay $60 to roll a spliff.
Okay then, but then they say they love people who are in poverty, but they're setting up things. But they're setting up hold on before I go. But they're setting up things for people to remain in poverty. But the people that who telling you thing is poverty, taking the same poverty thing at them and get even richer. Rich get richer. Liquidness. Full well know liquidness. Because I wake up and smell the roses.
Thank you. Big up yourself, my brother.
Somebody said, right? Without calling any names, people cussing. But watch where P.T. Bodell reach now. P.T. Bodell is a ghetto now. And they were talking about a lack of weed.
Okay.
So we now have a weed industry, but it seems like we have less successful poor people doing well from weed than we used to. That's what I haven't. I don't know if that's true.
Legal. Let's say not legal.
North Leeward as a whole is doing substantially worse than it used to do.
Yes.
When
they were licking a shot.
Yeah.
Good morning, caller. You're live.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
I had me on hold for a long time, but
that's big. He doesn't want you to call.
Spencer, I ain't got my coffee yet, so that's why I did have a spite.
Bones just said he's donating.
Your coffee Your coffee is already in St. Vincent, so
I ain't getting my hand yet. I mean, that means I'm poverty coffee rich.
Listen, I send it all the way from Canada to get you. You expect it to be hold on. I expect it to be delivered to you.
Yes.
So you all you got to do is yourself.
When you sent it.
My body.
Why take it so long to get here? We don't lie on the station in the woods. What are you lying for?
He said it.
Snail mail. Let me tell you, have you guys ever, let me get to the serious business. Have you guys ever listened to the way Major uses the phrase poverty rich?
No, that's why I'm asking about it. I haven't heard it before.
Okay, right. When he used, as far as I know, when Major used that in that context, okay, when he say you're poverty rich, he means that you're rich with a lot of poor people. Rich not in the terms of money or value. You have plenty poor people. That is what he means.
Okay. All right.
That is how he uses it. If you listen to the context in which he uses it, that's what he means.
I would have thought so.
From an individual standpoint, I thought that he was speaking individually. That a person is poverty rich. That's how I thought he meant. So when a person is poverty rich, what does that mean?
If you listen to him, like when he's using it, I tell you, Bing, the context
of poverty rich. That is poverty rich.
No, what he means is that you have a lot of poor people. That's what he means, and he could answer that, and I bet you I'm 100% right. Now, Steven.
Yes, sir.
Why you got to ask so much questions to make a donation to your partner, Lansford? Lansford asked me last year, and I donated money to that organization.
Right.
I was contacted already, and I pledged. And I just sent you a text a little while ago. I'm giving them. You could more than afford it. You and Bing getting free coffee. You could more than sponsor the people.
The money I'm going to spend for the coffee, I go give it to the.
You ain't pay for nothing. You ain't pay for nothing. I ain't charging you for nothing. Now, I contribute. I'm contributing $500 to the program this year. So, Steve, you can go to that.
Yes, sir. That's very good.
I did already last year. And I'm going to do it again this year. I'm going to give them a little bit more. Now, you see,
is good. I'll cover 2 kids.
You cover 2 kids. Well, because I put last year, I make up for you going to put the extra 100 this year.
Very good. It's Judge and thing with his right friend kind of Judge and all kind of
making good money. He doesn't know what you.
He
doesn't know that.
Rich.
He does not. He's first of all, he comes from rich people family.
Yeah. I'm going
rich people. He brings. He don't know about poverty. Thing when I moved to Canada, I used to go to college. Right, I would stand up on a bus shelter to catch a bus to go to the other side of the city to Seneca College. And it'd be so cold, your tears are walking out your eyes and freezing on your face to catch a bus. You think Bones ever had to catch a bus in his life?
No.
Bones not about poverty. What's wrong with you?
But let me tell you, let me give you a little example. When I started college, that days is when you had winter. And I come in all the way from Brampton into Toronto and don't miss the go bus by 5 minutes. And you ain't got the bus shelter. And you gotta stand up out there when the wood chill is minus 35 before the next bus comes, which is an hour later. You know, sometimes I get on a go bus and the bus man just look at me and say, go sit down and out. The guy can't even get him on my seriously, I can't get into my pocket Bing to pull out my wallet to show my pass.
Wow.
That's how bad it was. If I gotta go back to them situations, I rather go here and live in a tin shack, man. I'm telling you, it happened. No way. If I gotta catch public transit again.
We did our thing. We did our time, buddy. We did our time.
Boy, anyway, I just called to make that little part, but that's what Sinclair actually means. Okay. It means that St. Vincent got a lot of poor people. Ask him.
Let me ask you a question, Bones, right? You've been in Barbados a few times? You've been through Barbados?
A few times.
Oh, which country is poorer, St. Vincent or Barbados?
Everything is relative, you know.
I'm just asking your opinion.
Well, if you look at the GDP, if you base it on GDP,
I'm talking that. So you based it on GDP? I'm based on my eyesight and my experience. Barbados is poor. Barbados is poor.
Hold on.
What I'm talking about, Bones, what I'm talking about is you drive around Barbados and drive around St. Vincent and Grenadines and look at real estate and houses and cars.
But I can
and you tell me
disagree.
which country.
But I can disagree with that. Though.
No. Let me run this by all you.
Sure.
I have a brother, my oldest brother, who lives in Texas.
Right.
And when he was working at Nortel, right? Nortel gave him a job that posted him in Miami, in Florida. And his job was to sell switching systems. All the way from the tip of Florida right down to Suriname and the whole Caribbean and right up to Belize. And he couldn't believe of all those years while he was traveling. And he came back to me, he says, I got to tell you something, boy. I don't know where the people in St. Vincent getting the money from. But the most impressive houses, on average, I've seen is in St. Vincent. And that's over 20-some years.
Yeah, but guys, I can also argue that with relative to Barbados or whichever other country, with us having the most impressive houses, that all these houses belong to banks and other financial institutions.
But the point is,
somebody putting them up.
But the Bajans could say that we don't have those. We don't have those high mortgages, and
I disagree with you.
We have our monies in other wealth, in other investments.
I disagree.
Before the bank lend you the money to even think about
you have to qualify.
Thank you.
There you go. So you're still doing well.
Yeah, but how do you know the Bajans? How do you know the Bajans are not qualified for it though?
So the truth, well,
For them?
Yeah. How do you know they're not?
All you gotta do is there's two things, because I tell you what. When you look at how the bank lends money in Barbados based on their salary levels, this is what I heard from a Bajan. And how you qualify for certain things is totally different than how you qualify in St. Vincent. You understand? So people, Vincentians take proud of what they own when it comes to a house.
And a car now too.
Yeah, the car now too, because you gotta live up. So you gotta live up to the part. You see me, Steven. You see my car in St. Vincent, right?
Yeah.
It was 1995, and it was still right. So because me and the person, nobody will know the car again. And then on that, so make you Steven.
Well, your car's the worst investment you'll ever make,
Big time.
It depreciates so rapidly.
And that's like big. If I got to impress you with an SUV. Yeah, might as well just stay on a woman.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Well, you see what Bing drives, right?
Anyway, guys, Bing, your coffee is in St. Vincent.
When I get it, I will take a photograph and put it on our social media pages to see that it actually came.
The coffee.
And I receive it. I'm serious.
All you gotta do, all you gotta do is call your courier man.
Thank you, Bones. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. Well, listen, we got more people calling, but we gotta bring it to more calls at the moment because we gotta bring it to an end. We'll take a commercial break, and we got Dr. Richard. People that are commenting on this poverty rich thing.
Yeah.
And your people commenting on your thing about Barbados and St. Vincent.
Yep.
Cutlass, I have family.
It's an interesting way to think of things.
No, but I have family in Barbados, right?
That. Yes, your mother's in Barbados.
And
my friend Elsie.
Yes, she is very, as you know, successful in business in Barbados.
Yes,
right?
Correct, yes.
But her
house
is not a typical Bajan house. Living standard thing. But it's a difference,
Yeah, very different than St. Vincent.
Right.
Yeah.
But her worth in terms of her business is different.
But tell me something. When you're talking about poverty, in my view, then what I'm saying to you here to put before, because I have to go to.
Yes.
But my view here is poverty is not just about a dollar number. Poverty has to be an all-inclusive concept. How do you live? Where you live in? How quality of life you have?
Investments.
It's not just a one-off number that you're making $500 so you're poor. because you could be making your $500, but you have your acre that you're
yes,
growing
yes.
by a riverside. You have water. You're growing your own fruits and vegetables.
Maybe we
you're
were
living a good life.
spoiled. Maybe we were
that's
spoiled.
poverty,
too.
but is that
Maybe we
poor?
were spoiled.
I don't know.
I will ask Major. I'll ask Major what he meant by poverty. Really.
Yeah. Because I think I suspect it's what you said.
Yes.
In terms of poverty, in terms of there's a lot of poor people, but I think we have to be careful about what we judge as poverty and what we judge as poor. But I have to run, buddy.
Yeah, let's take this final one before you go. Final one. Caller, you're the final caller in this segment.
Stephen.
Yes, sir.
Let me just compare St. Vincent, Barbados.
Yes.
We have some of the best houses, and we have a lot of cars in St. Vincent. St. Vincent is a very poor country. We don't have any old cars there now.
That's true.
But doesn't mean that that the Barbadians can't have good houses like us.
But they don't. That's the point.
They don't.
Because is it by choice or is it because
we don't know.
Because they are that poor that they can't get it?
They don't have the cars, but they don't have the houses.
Yeah. But St. Vincent's a very strange place. If you go and look officially at statistics, you will see that St. Vincent has probably one of the worst performing economies in the Caribbean in the last 20-something years. Officially. CDB stats, Factbook stats, IMF stat books, whatever you want, right? But when you look at our country, when you drive around our country, and you see what's going on in our country, but this doesn't make sense. The official numbers are way off because we are not like that for the most part. I took a drive down, as I told you, to Richmond 2 weekends ago. You take a drive out of Fancy. Even when you go through Sandy Bay, where used to be really horrible areas, have come a long way in my view. Right? So I think you got to be careful of what poverty is and what it is you're trying to describe and not just pick official figures out of the book. Call us out.
Even white poor people buying so many cars. You can't.
Because it didn't belong to them, it belongs to the bank.
That's not true because they got to pay the bank back. That's not true. You can't say that.
All these big houses that you're talking about. How many times has been like told about these houses to do disconnections?
I wouldn't know that.
And water.
I wouldn't know that.
I mean, these.
No, but you're saying these things as though it's a fact. You don't know that's for true. You don't know.
No, Ben, you don't know that.
You don't know. You're just making statements off
Ben,
the top of
we
your head.
don't know.
You're going back to your NDP morons again, trying to make the government look bad.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, how many times you see the Vinlek van truck running all about the place? I mean, don't try to him. You're something that's already cut last night. Don't try that. I must don't try that. I come on to down with it. Yes, sir. Yes, tell me.
There's a new place in Glendale where they build up a lot of housing schemes.
Yeah.
Where they see lots of big houses facing to Fair Hall. The main road to go up to Fair Hall.
Yeah.
And that it was spread.
That's the government project you're talking about?
No, a lot of people buy land there.
Yes.
And build big houses.
Yep.
And in St. Vincent Bing,
yep.
A lot of poor people is buying cars. Yep. Over $30,000, you know. Just like when they buying a stove and a fridge you put in your house.
Yep.
A lot of poor people in this country.
So you're saying that Vincentians are doing well? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, they're doing well, Big.
You see the kind of answer that you portray in this country?
Bing, asking the question. We don't have bananas now. Where the poor people getting the money?
Where we getting the money from?
That's right.
We have weed. We have no marijuana. We have banana. So where we get money from? We exporting. We importing. Where we get money from?
I'm buying cars over $30,000.
So where the money coming from? Where the money come from? Where the money coming from? Where it's coming from? As a capitalist cutlass, where's the money coming? And don't you care about that?
It seems to be.
But don't you care about that?
No,
not really.
Oh, you don't care as long as it comes.
You can ask the question. Ben, can I ask you one question?
Sure,
that Major said?
Yes.
Major said, right? A young lady, a guy he chest some sex.
He trusts some sex from a woman, yeah. And she said, you can't come back.
But you want to come back for a piece of sex. But she's shamed because he ain't pay for the 40.
And what? You believe that or you don't believe that?
I believe it happened.
You believe it happened?
Yeah.
Why you think that happening?
She really said.
And why do you think that happening?
Big wait. She really said.
The song Prime Minister, wait now. Big wait now.
She said he touched piece of sex, you know. He don't mind getting another piece. But he did it all to ask to get the money to pay.
It can't be. And why you think he can't pay? Why you think
the two things, you ain't get the money on time, you can work and you ain't get the money on time. I could deal with some weed and you didn't get to pay and so on. There's a lot of factors that you could say that why you didn't pay. But you want to go back to another piece of tech. But you feel you can shame to go back because you don't speak.
You have a good day, my brother. And on that note, you have a good day, my brother. Cutlass,
yes, sir.
I think you should get on my damn station.
I gotta go. Hey,
I think you need to get out. You're confusion rich. That's your. You're confusion rich. You're confusion rich.
Have a good time with Pastor, my friend. Tell him I wish him well. I'm very happy that he's pleased in Lansford. That's very good. So
with his education, they're both at once.
They're both for once. Yeah, I'm very happy to see.
They're great on
that
education issue. Yes.
You know, tomorrow I'm 51, so don't forget, guys.
Oh Jesus! Do we need to
money,
hear this?
cake.
We'll give him cake because we know it will make him
That'll
sick.
Be fine too.
Let's give him as sweet as
guys,
possible.
Have a great day, young fella. Kid, take care, buddy. All right, I go on.
All right, buddy, take care. Thank you very much. That was a Cutlass leaving us until tomorrow morning. You know what? We're gonna take a quick break. Come right back. We've got Dr. Richards coming up with us when we come right back.
Carnival Monday, July 10th.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company. Your vision is our mission at Kurtz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.kurtzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Kurtz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in store for details.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact live. Party from home. Subscribe, follow, send us your voice notes. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, or call us live in studio. Be where the world is going. Stay home and connect online. Boom 1069, IKTV. Join the evolution. It's all about you. Connect now.
That no government has the right to take away. It sets out our right to freedom and equality and justice.
How many times do I have to teach you? Just because something works doesn't mean that it cannot be improved.
Taiwan International Healthcare Training Center integrates the health capability in Taiwan and keeps providing continuing education trainings for healthcare professionals. In the past 20 years, TIHTC has successfully trained over 2,000 international healthcare professionals from 77 countries.
We will save more Ukrainian children's lives with the sincere support of the people of Taiwan. All of our colleagues, we want to thank Taiwan for this help.
Since the 1950s, Taiwan has been providing various medical aid and technical services to African countries. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Taiwan assisted its diplomatic allies in helping pregnant women maintain maternal and child health. Early neonatal mortality rates have seen a decline of 1%, with the number of deaths per 1,000 newborns dropping from 234 to 189.
Nationwide affordable and accessible healthcare is a reality in Taiwan, with 99.9% of the population enrolled in the health insurance system. In an effort to promote fairness and human rights, foreign nationals have also been included in the healthcare system. According to the global database website Numbeo, Taiwan has topped the list of the healthcare index for 4 consecutive years as of 2022.
Taiwan continues to be an indispensable partner on the path to global post-pandemic recovery.
Well, there are countries like Taiwan who were exemplary, saw the problem, and
we believe that Taiwan's role as an observer in World Health Assembly meetings is in the best interest of the international health community and also is an important partner in the fight.
O.M.G. in the morning with a real Batman Bing and DJ Shady. Let's check in with the doc and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on O.M.G.
Doc, good morning to you. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Bing. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you this morning? I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing very well, Bing. You have a new DJ, right?
Not a new one. He's been with us before. He's Millennium Kid.
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. And
He's been with us before from a long time, but
good morning.
But Shady's on sick leave, so he's with us until Shady gets back.
Okay. Wishing Shady well. Hope he recovers. Hope it's nothing too serious.
From the front to the back. From the front to the back.
Following your discussions on radio this morning, Bing, as much as I could anyway, and very interesting, actually, very, very interesting. I especially love that commentary by Mr. Weeks. You know I was going to love that, right, Bing?
I certainly did.
Yeah. It was really very insightful, and especially not only bringing a commentary, but being part of a solution. And so just want to commend him. I just want to make just one, because I know they will be thinking this country. I know we think when Mr. Weeks gets on national radio and say, well, that's my friend, right, Bing? You understand that, right?
Yes, but he's been wanting to get to this issue for the longest while, you know.
Yeah. But and I want to qualify that, Mr. Weeks. I actually have a respect for Mr. Weeks. Really so, and I try to be colorblind in these things. So, though some might want to pigeonhole him and think perhaps that he might be, more in relation with one party than the other. Some might want to do that. I want to respect a man for what he brings to the table. Now, Mr. Weeks and I'm just qualifying the friend statement. Mr. Weeks and I go a long way back. First of all, I mean, we're from the same village, right? My family and all of that. So, but apart from that, what really provoked my respect for him, I used to do a thing back in the day. I like outstanding people who think people are bright. You know that, right? I mean, that if there's a weakness in me, well, I probably have many, but that's one where I am kind of partial towards, people who can think out of the box. And I spotted that in him way back when. We used to do a thing, crazy. While grammar school was the only institution that I knew that was offering advanced economics, and you had to do it over a 2-year period. We tried this experiment, crazy, where we were saying, man, come, we could get you your advanced economics degree in a 6-month period. Basically, we register you in September. By late September, early October, you start. So October, November, or December, you're off. January, February, March, April, May. 7 months, give it 7 months, and you go right an A-level exam. And that's just crazy what people all over England and other places spending 2 years to learn. These guys are able to learn and perform well. So back then I realized, and I have quite a number of people like that who passed through what I was doing and entered the civil service and went on and did. And I'm not surprised that he did well. I'm not surprised when I hear of all of the courses that he's gone on to take and the way in which he has acquitted himself and performed in the public service. I am not at all surprised. So that explains the kind of respect I have for his stuff and why I listen to him to hear what he has to say. I know some people will dismiss me or dismiss him or dismiss others because we have pigeonhole people and we think that that color defines intelligence. I happen to think that you can't corral intelligence on the basis of color. And so what he talked about this morning, and Stephen too, made some really key insertions and some key points. I've listened to Stephen, and some of his takes on what constitutes the education and critical thinking and that kind of stuff. Where we vary it on minor stuff in the area of education, by the way, where we vary there, it's minor stuff, but on the main, he gets it. This whole thing that you brought up, being with boarding school, though, I kind of like being. You can't judge St. Vincent on the basis of the fact that, oh well, the education. What was suggested there is that the education. What you think? If I know me and I know Stephen, you and others, we taking our kids and we send them off to boarding school. What does that say about our education here? That's just you see that kind of argument, Bing. You see that kind of argument. There are so many holes in that thing. It's like a strainer. It's like a sieve. It's argument, and on the surface it sounds fine. It sounds like you just made a great argument, but that's the kind of thing that an educated man would listen to that and it's like, where that going? Yeah, people are. I happen to have gone to a private, very, very, very good and very expensive private university. And there are others who chose to send their children overseas in America to private universities and boarding schools too. What is that saying that
But Doc, hold on there, Doc. Hold on, Doc.
I had to laugh. I couldn't help laughing.
Hold on, Doc. You presented a thesis. Started some weeks ago. Mr. Weeks came on, agreed with you. We all agree that our system is flawed in one way or the other. If our system is flawed and we decide then to say, you know what, we're going to, those who can afford it, send our children outside to a place where we think that they have better education, or to universities outside where you went to, a very expensive university where you went to, where you got your doctorate and your degrees and all of that. What is wrong with that? Why is that flawed?
I'm glad you're interrogating on the thing, Bing. That's what educated people do. Very good. I am not saying sending your child away to a boarding school is flawed. I think you will get an excellent education. I got an excellent, my classes were small. I was able to have really good interaction with my professors. Two in particular, I used to really dig into. My sociology professor. We just couldn't see the world from the same perspective. And my astronomy professor, and the understanding space and time and these concepts, where stars came from, where the universe came from. I was able to enrich myself in discussions with them. So it's great thing to have that kind of education. It is fantastic. I heard Stephen talk about the fact that you expose them to that and the skills that you're able to concentrate boarding school. Like Trump went to a boarding school too, but don't judge anyone going to a boarding school by that. By the way,
let's remove the word boarding. Let's say schools.
Right.
Boarding just means that you live where you. That's all it means. All right.
You introduced the term, so that's why I used it.
Okay.
I think it's excellent. I think you get a fantastic education there. All right. But don't get me wrong. That's not the point I am making.
The people who came up, most of the people in St. Vincent who came up with the term universal education. That's what it's called. Access to universal. What's it called? Universal education. Where did their children go to school?
Let me see what I have here. St. Vincent.
Okay.
St. Vincent de Grenadines education.
Where did their children go to school?
Here in St. Vincent.
Yes.
Yeah.
The people, most of the people who came up with that term and who pushed it as the greatest thing since sliced bread, where did their children go to school?
Bingo, let me You don't know these people who being. I don't want to get into that.
But you want
We
to have a
adopted. No, no, no,
discussion.
no, no,
Let's have
no,
a
no, no, no.
discussion.
You're talking about who came up with education for all, and you
Education
assume.
revolution. Sorry,
Yeah,
education
no, no, no.
revolution.
If you
Yeah,
ask me who
that's it. Too.
adopted it, being I
Where
don't.
did their
If you
children
ask
go
me,
to school?
if you ask me who adopted the education revolution, the education revolution concepts are not ours. And don't be fooled by anyone who tells you I came up with this for St. Vincent. I mean, that's why I said I don't want to get into the origins of the thing, where it came
No,
from.
but we
All right.
touted it. We touted it.
Yeah, we
It doesn't
adopted
matter
it.
whether doesn't matter whether we said it was our idea. We touted it as if it was something that was initiated by us.
You asked me.
It was used on the platforms.
Right,
It
right,
is
right,
still
right.
being used on the platform.
And Ben, I
And
applaud the thing.
I am
I
asking if it is so great because there are teachers in the system who are saying that it is flawed.
Bing, do you know, and my fellow Vincentians, do you know the main drivers and ideals behind, and I've been talking about these for weeks now. Do you know what is axial and core objectives and aims of the education revolution? Do you know what they are? Do you know how to measure? Because if you're going to say something is flawed, you have to know what it is intended to achieve. And the average Vincentian, I'm sorry to say, and I don't blame the Vincentian, I think that is a lot. If I'm pushing something, it's upon me to educate and educate and educate and educate until
Doc, do
people
you
get
think
it.
it's flawed?
This is what it's all about. Conceptually, it's brilliant. Bing, and you're drawing me out, Bing, you're drawing me out. Let me tell you something. And I have talked about macrostructure.
Conceptually, it's brilliant.
I've talked about macrostructure
From
and
a
what we get on
practical
paper.
standpoint.
Now, implementation, something might be brilliant. Something might be brilliant conceptually. All right, as you get the concepts together, and I will go to that just now. But there are other things you have to consider mechanisms, and I think part of our flaw is not the concept. Because the thing is a whole, education revolution, my people, education revolution is a whole. And though the concept might be perfect, there are other aspects that might be flawed. Mechanism for implementation, and the chief mechanism for implementation, if they don't get it, and the chief mechanism for implementation is not really teachers, or although headmistresses and principals might play a part, your curriculum design is a major aspect. Because that's going to become your main tool for leveraging the deliverables, and there are certain deliverables within the concept. So concept might be brilliant and not flawed, and which I am applauding. Concept is not flawed, but I have suggested that there might be a possibility that the mechanism for implementation might be flawed. And not only that, let me give you another M. Mechanism for monitoring the progress. Although I do know that from time to time, and a lot of Vincentians don't know this, but from time to time, there are reviews, and they're printed. The last one that I read, which I'm going to read the review. This one is from Education Research and Information Communication Technology Department, Ministry of Education, Kingstown, and they put it out there. So if I want to know, I will go read from time to time the reviews, just so I can monitor. If there is proper monitoring, also, my people, if there's proper monitoring, you get a sense of where we are currently. So you have mechanism for implementation, you have monitoring, but outside of the general monitoring being, what you would also need criteria for measurement, what we call assessment. And you have to assess, I do CXC. CSEC result is a woefully inadequate indicator to measure the success of the education revolution. You have to measure all of the deliverables. There are 10 deliverables being, and I have them right. I have them right here. I have a file on education. So there are 10 deliverables I've talked about. Numeracy and literacy. So not only do you have to have a concept for that, not only do you have to have the mechanism curriculum-wise to implement that, but you also, I have to be able to monitor, and people have to be able to objectively measure that. Then you have science and technology, and then you have technical and vocational skills. Those are the top three, and sadly, we measure education in St. Vincent on the basis of how our students perform in numeracy and literacy, in science and technology, and in tech voc stuff. But our education revolution and the brilliance of the concept which we have adopted, and like I said, I won't go deep on that to explain where that came from. But the other aspects of it, which I highly applaud, and let me list them, I don't have time to get into them. I've been talking about these for weeks now. Culture and sports. You have to measure how our schools are delivering, because the school basically is the main highway through which we deliver education. How are our schools delivering on this aspect of the revolution in culture and sports? And how do we measure that? I'm not saying that they're not delivering, but I'm asking how well. How well are we delivering in what we call well-developed interpersonal skills? That is written into the concept of the education revolution. What is curriculum development doing to ensure that this particular niche aspect, first of all, the headmistresses and headmasters and principals get it, and that is disseminated to the staff, so that you figure out how is it going to be done. And when I taught way back there, just a couple of years ago, I was teaching, and one of the things that we will do a lot for my students who were going to become counselors, we did a lot of role play scenarios where they not only got the book knowledge, but I got to sit back and watch as they would engage in role play, and I was assessing to see if it was a head thing that they were just parroting, or it was a hard thing, to see if I was transforming values, to see if I was making a difference in worldview and the way people were thinking. And I put them in a multiple role play situation, including ethical dilemmas. I put them in that. That's not something you read notes and dictate and all of that. That's something I watch you. And as I drop you in an ethical, I remember one time, just to create an ethical dilemma, I was interviewing, I did mock interviews with my students, mock interview, and I pushed them and pushed them. And one lady, I pushed her in a particular way, right in front of the class, of course. I pushed her in, I was just pushing in role play. And she got up and she walked out of the interview and she threw down her resume and everything. She's like, whatever, I ain't start, I ain't here for this. And I gave her the highest grade. And the students wanted to know how, because I was pushing her on a value and her rage at what I suggested and all of that. And it was not a makeup thing. It was a genuine reaction. I thought, this woman gets it. You put them in role play situations. How is that done in our schools? I'm not sure. So you have to have the measurement, you have to have the mechanism for implementation, whether it is done through counseling, which I don't think it is done through counseling, because most schools have one or two counselors, and they spend most of their time in reformative things. Basically, troublemakers come to you, and you get to work out, a program for them. Which is poor utility for counseling. Counseling should not be in schools. I don't know who said counseling was dealing with troublemakers. Counseling is about shaping your students, their minds in particular ways, healthy ways. So the preponderance of counseling should be with healthy students. But we make the counselor the disciplinarian of the school. So so the counseling department, I'm saying, cannot be the mechanism for delivering these submerged values of our education revolution. Things on environment and national heritage, civic duties, social responsibilities. I don't have time to really dig into all of these. I don't know that we have a well-constructed mechanism as yet to deliver these. It's a work in progress. And this is why I keep pushing the button now on these programs. I push the button. And there are other people that I talk to who are educators, of course. So if I depended on this program alone, I'd fall woefully short. But you have to push people and prod them like, what are we doing to make sure this happens in your school? So, Bing, to answer your question, if I think the education revolution is a success, there are aspects of it that I have been applauding all along. And I believe if it achieves these goals, it will be a resounding success. The question is, how do we get the mechanism right to implement it? Let us support the thing. Let us not knock it. Let us not dog it. Let us support the thing. It has a good objective. And then how do we monitor? I'm not going to talk about the thing if I'm not monitoring it, Bing. And I have been monitoring it. And then for those who are responsible for measurement and testing and measurement, how do we do the testing and measurement? And I've said what I have heard is that we seem to do it on the basis of CSEC results. And that is just woeful. But then let me clarify. I don't have my problem. You misunderstood me. You get a fantastic education in what are you going to call it, boarding schools. And if I could, my daughter went to. You understand? I know what you get. I'm not dogging it. I'm just saying, don't use that as an indicator. What I was saying, don't use that as an indicator and say, well, because people send their children to boarding school, all over the world you go to boarding school. So the English education system is horrible because English people send their children to boarding school. Why do you think there are boarding schools in Canada? Because the Canadian education system is horrible. Why do you think there are boarding schools in America? Because education in China. And I have real first-hand information from China. I won't tell you how. But even then you have these niche select schools where, is it because the education is horrible? No, they have the general education there is really top. So I was just saying it's a flawed argument to say that an indicator of how horrible a country's education system is if people are sending their children to boarding school, then the country's education system must be horrible. And I was cautioning you not to make arguments like that. They won't hold up. That's all I was saying. All right.
All right, Doc, got you. All right, Doc, we run past our time. It seems like if it went by so fast. Thank you very much. We continue the discussion tomorrow morning.
No, I have grammar school tomorrow morning.
Or you're doing graduation tomorrow morning?
Yeah, grammar school. I'm not doing the speech, but I have to be there because there's another part I'm doing. And then Thursday again, I know Thursday morning is high school, Thursday evening, Thursday afternoon is St. Martin, and that was postponed, so I'm doing the feature address there, and that's Wednesday. Wednesday I'm doing the feature address for St.
I will not be here on Thursday as well.
Thursday, no, you not be here Wednesday.
Wednesday, yes, Wednesday.
Yeah. I'm following all that, and then Thursday following everything, and then come on, being education, and then Thursday morning I'm doing the one for feature just for Thomas Sanders. All right.
Thank you very much, Doc. Catch you tomorrow morning, God's willing.
Like I just said, Bing, I'll be in the grammar school graduation tomorrow morning. Okay.
My coffee is not strong enough. Sorry.
Spencer.
Yeah. We're gonna have a handing over. And we'll send something for you today. If it is real, we'll send something for you. Right, Fitz?
Fitz will hand deliver my stuff. You don't worry about that.
No. Fitz is a courier, so it comes to me first, and I would send it to you.
If I don't get it from Fitz, you give it to Randy. You give it to Randy. Randy, when you go
come to me first,
then
you'll bring it. Then you'll bring it to church on Sunday, and you would say,
"I'll be seeing both Fitz and Randy." Okay, so
yes, and his beautiful wife June. Thank you.
Definitely.
All right, I'll catch you whenever we catch you again.
Yes,
thank you.
All right, take care. My apologies.
No problem. This is where we wrap it up. Is Jill here? Jill is here. Jill, are you around? Jill, is that her sitting there outside? That's Puncho. Puncho, where is Jill? Anyway, we gotta go. I gotta wrap it up myself because I got a lot to do today. It's gonna be a busy one for me today as well too. So we'll leave you in the capable hands of Puncher, until Jill gets in because I've got a busy one this morning. Before I go though, let me tell you, hey Doc is still there, Doc. Yeah, before I go though, let me tell you about some messages. Listen, you might wanna, if you want to look for something really nice here on the mainland, if you're looking for that ultimate destination for relaxation and exceptional flavor, look no further than Hotel Alexandria in a Culture Bar and Grill in Prospect. Join them Monday to Saturday from 3 p.m. for a dining experience like no other. Discover their mouth-watering menu, vibrant ambience, and Vincentian hospitality. Call them at 456-9788 or visit Culture Bar and Grill today. You got to just check them out. Yeah, Culture Bar. Barry's Auto Parts, located in Low Middle Street near Gunsalve Store. They have parts for Suzuki. Yes, Suzuki Swift. AET110. What's that? That's the Sprinter? Yeah. They've got parts for that. They've got parts for the RAV4, SR40 Starlet. They've got parts for that. Nissan Van Speciality. They've got all the parts for the Nissan Van. I'm not even going to go down the list. They've got all the parts for the Nissan Van. Whatever parts you need for Nissan Van, check out Barry's, all right? They also, everything. That's it, everything. I don't think they're looking for auto parts person up to this time. I'm sure they would have already employed someone by now. Yeah. Monday, July 10th means Flow Monday Band. Everyone, yeah. And we mean everyone will be on the road with Flow and Island Network for the biggest jam ever. Limited early bird packages are now available and going very, very fast. Island-wide, you can get them island-wide for only $60. Please get them now. They say Flow Monday Band, true and loyal to the culture. Make sure you check that out here. I'm my boy Woodsy. Don't forget Woodsy this Friday, Karaoke Friday with Hills Costello in the house at Woodsy's. You gotta check that out. Woodsy's Friday. I heard it's a place to be on a Friday night at Woodsy. That's where if you want to meet somebody, if you're in Brooklyn and you meet somebody, if you're there and you can't find somebody and you meet them on a Friday night, that's where you go at Woodsy's on a Friday night. Yeah, and also remember they are open during the week as well too. They've got their drinks and their food menu. They've got a wicked menu. Let me tell you about that menu at Woodsy's. Morning to the staff and morning to my buddy Woodsy itself. Let me tell you about that menu at Woodsy. Especially if you're looking for somewhere clean with a mature ambience. If that menu, you can get that Rasta pasta there. That.
Yeah, you got me intrigued. I even not up me at this man.
Yeah. So you come twisted up, boy. Yeah. So you come. You ready to go? Don't forget their drinks menu at Woodsy. Let me tell you something about that drinks menu. Somebody asked me if I'm okay. Do I sound not okay?
Yeah, you sound a bit gravelly than 5-10 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, the person said I'm sounding hoarse. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's that horrible individual came in here just now. Maybe it's him.
Probably.
Mario with his worthless self came in here with give me a tick. Hey, brand new on the menu at Woodsy's Vinci Shrimp. Woodsy's Vinci Shrimp served with rice and peas, mixed vegetables, and fried plantain. We think, even though we're hungry, feel hungry now.
Yeah, now we're hungry again.
Woodsy's Vinci Shrimp served as an appetizer is served tossed in honey, barbecue sauce, or buffalo sauce, and can be served plain without a sauce. What do you think? Yeah? Good for
that. Nice appetizer.
Yeah. Jill, come inside if you're outside, yeah?
No,
I seen somebody by the door. That's not that? No, on the cameras? Okay, that's not that. Woodsy's Vintage Shrimp. Yeah. Served alongside the famous yachting Rasta pasta.
Rasta pasta, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's you there.
Yeah.
That's you there. Yeah. That's all the many ways you can do it. So let's have some drinks now at Woodsy's. Let's go to Woodsy's and check out the drinks menu at Woodsy's. I tell you, This is the thing that I know. A lot of people. You gotta pick, eh? Okay. $15 for one of these. The Frozen Island Oasis at Woodsies. One of these. Vinci Sunset Punch. That sounds like it give you a good punch.
Yeah, that sounds like a grenade in the mix right there.
That sounds like I give you a good punch, yeah. Vinci Nice. I tell you the ingredients, but I don't want to do that.
There's another one.
Yeah, I don't see. It's $15 for that. Hey, guess this. Vinci Rum Jumby. That's coming soon. Vinci Rum Jumby. I would see. Banana Jammer. $15 for that.
That one sounds like a punch.
That sounds like a punch?
Yeah.
Cocoa Freeze.
Would you have things
Would Banana Mudslide.
That's a known one.
Yeah. My favorite one, Lemon Drop. I love that.
Lemon Drop.
Yeah. Anything with lime and coconut and them kind of things. That's me. Tropical Lemonade. That's me there again.
Yeah.
Okay. Jamaican Punch. What is it?
Yeah. That must sound like the Sunset Punch.
Sunset Punch? No, that's a Jamaican Punch.
That is Jamaican.
Yeah. Punch of Cream.
Punch of Cream. Popular.
Yeah, you can get it. Banana Cabana.
Banana Cabana. Well, see, that is a new one.
That's a new one.
Yeah, so like a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. $15 for that. Pina Colada. Well, we know that it's inside. Here's a frozen margarita section for $14 at Woodseas. Margarita. Yeah. Strawberry, mango, watermelon.
A good mix.
That's a good mix? Yeah. Okay, all right, cool. Frozen daiquiris, $14. Strawberry daiquiri.
Yeah. A good mix.
A good mix. Yeah. Okay. Passion fruit daiquiri.
Them is more on the softer side of
peach, guava daiquiri. Now let's get to the real thing now. This is the real McCoy here now. Hey boy. Rum Swizzler. Caribbean Rum Punch. These are $13 each. Yeah, 1-3. Yeah. Painkiller. My God.
And if it's Imran mixing that,
Painkiller. I need one of those this morning. The painkillers. I need one of those. El Presidente at Woodsies. And the bottle bay is Corona for $6. Heineken $6. Guinness $7. You can go right down the Red Stripe. Budweiser $5. Dragon Stout $5. Heineken Zero. Heineken Zero, non-alcoholic, I think.
Heineken Zero?
Yeah.
Well, I never heard that one.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably non-alcoholic.
You can see you don't follow champion leagues.
Yeah.
You don't follow champion leagues football, man?
No, not really.
Yeah, that's why you wouldn't buy Heineken Zero. Yeah. And Beck's non-alcoholic for $5. Now for me, if you gotta drink beer, you gotta drink damn beer. What you going to drink beer with non-alcohol for? You know, if you're drinking beer, drinking beer. You're drinking beer. It's only people like Bort could be doing them things, you know. Bort, morning, buddy. How you doing? Winston, morning. Bernadette, good morning. My thing, everybody asks me about my coffee I'm supposed to get from Spencer. Yes, Spencer said the courier will be dropping it off today. That should be Fitz. Huggins is the courier for my coffee. I saw a missed call from him the other day, and I tried to call him back, but the signal wasn't going to. So I thought, he's just in Canada. Call him as usual to cost me. Fitz Huggins, the courier, where is the damn package with my coffee from your brother? We'll see. Is she out there yet? I'm still on.
No.
Is there your people out there?
She's not.
Who's that out there? Is there your people?
Yeah.
Your people?
Yeah.
Wait, your whole family, boys. You sure them? All them?
No.
All them people there, your people there.
I'm meet to meet in a time.
I'm meeting in a time.
I'm meet to meet in a time.
I'm meet to meet in a time, man. You have family court session going
on? Yeah.
Family court? Boy, mind touch that song, mind you pick me over there, boy.
Nah, that's
No, mind you pick me.
Nah, you know,
it's not like a touch thing.
I want them careless.
How many children you have?
A number.
A number. The fact that you don't want to say the number that says something is up. How many children you have, kid?
I have one.
Kid, you can't have. No, you do not have one. You said a number.
Right.
Kid, how
number.
many children do you have?
One. I have a son.
Kid, you're lying.
Standing?
Kid, you cannot have one child.
Yeah, I have a son.
A man like you, a DJ, DJs and policemen don't have one children. They don't have one child. DJs and policemen. DJs and policemen, they don't have one child. They don't have one child. Kid, we don't tell lies. We don't cheat inside.
You should ask Shady this question too.
I did.
You know
And he told me the truth.
How much it
A few. He said a few. How many children do you have, kid?
I have one son.
You have one son that you take care of.
Yeah.
Why don't you take care of the other children?
I take care
Is
of
it
them.
to find out? You take care of all of them. Did you just say all of them?
Yeah.
That means all means more than one.
Yeah.
So you have more than one. Okay, how many you have? You say you have more than
I
one.
have 4 kids.
You have 4 kids.
Yeah.
So why are you lying about the other 3?
I'm not lying.
You just said you have 1. Now you admitted that you have 4. So why are you not lying? Why you lying about the other 3?
You're just drying me out.
I'm not drawing you out.
Yeah, I'm laundry.
Kid, why would you do that?
Yeah, I'm laundry hanging out and
why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why you do that?
No.
There were mistakes.
Huh?
You didn't plan for them.
No.
You having casual sex.
No.
You weren't having casual sex. Did you plan for those other 3 children?
It's mindful sex.
Mindful sex. So you knew you were going to have a child.
Yeah.
So why you only said 1? Why are you not recognizing the other 3?
No, everybody recognizes.
Everybody's recognized, but you said you have 1.
I just trying to tie you up to the night.
Oh, you trying to tie me up?
Yeah.
You trying to tap the man who ties up the man?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to get out like
so
that.
you plan. You plan to have 4 children. You decided that you're gonna have 4 children.
This is how it's going. No careless sex.
No careless sex.
No
Okay. So you didn't use a condom.
Nah.
So you were going around having promiscuous sex.
Mindful sex.
No. You're having promiscuous sex then.
Mindful sex.
So you are one of these irresponsible young men out there who having promiscuous sex. You're having sex with people without using a condom.
However you want to put it.
So you're deliberately doing that.
Yeah. It's mindful sex.
And you're saying yes, you're deliberately doing that. And you continue to do that?
Yeah, Winston laughing.
Winston. Could you hear it? Winston. The man can't stand up in family court, boy. Winston, he go up in family court. Pastor said, just give up and walk out. Just walk out the room. Winston, the man can't walk up in family court. The man still having promiscuous sex.
I ain't no bill in family court.
You are not been in family court.
Okay.
Okay. So you having sex with condoms now? You having sex? Are you protecting yourself now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you weren't doing it before.
That was younger days.
One of the younger days. Okay. So you knew that you weren't doing it before, right? You deliberately chose not to do it before.
Mindful sex.
Mindful sex. Yeah. Mindful sex means sex without condom.
If you want to call
it. If you want
to call it.
So you having sex now with condom.
Yeah.
So that means you don't have one woman.
I have one woman.
So why are you having sex with her? With a condom?
Well, it's the same person.
But so then you should be trusted. So you don't trust us, she don't trust you.
No, it's not about the trust.
What is it about?
It's about not bringing any more kids, right?
Okay, so you don't know family planning. So the only way that you couldn't have sex is with a condom.
To not have kids?
To not have kids.
Well, then we're going to do.
So that is the only way. That's the only way to have sex with a child, with a woman, to not have kids. Is it that you... Kid, speak up. What happened?
No,
you look like you can't.
I read it.
You read it. Winston telling you what you say. Winston telling you what you say. Hey, listen, guys. I'm gonna exit until tomorrow morning. All right. I got a long day ahead of me, and I'll be back tomorrow morning. God's willing. All right. Stay up. Stay good. Stay beautiful. Stay safe. All right. We love you. We always do. We love you. Say boom. 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 Because it's boom, see my ass. Say boom, say boom, say boom. Say boom, say the big boom. Say loud and be proud. Let it go. One more time. Say boom. Say boom.
It's killing. Mamacita, give me peace now. I'm begging you, please now. I will never leave ya. Mamacita, give me peace now. I'm begging you, please now. I will never leave ya. Mamacita, Mamacita, give me peace now. Mamacita. What's left in the darkness come to the light, so I not holding back. Yes, I have a wife, but to how you whining, girl, I have to attack. Yeah, you catch me eyes in the party, so I had to ask you politely. Yeah, you catch me eyes in the party, roll it. Mamacita, give me peace now. I'm begging you, please now. I will never leave ya. Mamacita, give me peace now. I'm begging you, please now.